I feel like today's a big one. Dude, today's a big one. All right? I'll admit, I don't really know what's going on. I rolled out of bed a little late. Saw that the Pokemon bullshit thing was up. Went downstairs, watched it. Came right up. Oh shit. It's 10. Got a stream. Man, did you guys see that shit? Did you guys watch that? Y'all see the Pokemon 30th announcement? Look at these little guys. Look at this shit. You see this? Bro. Wind and waves. Oh my god. Ashy, dude, happy birthday, bro. Evan cares more about Pokemon and WoW than my birthday. SMHing your head this early in the morning? God damn. Well, Ashy, it was insensitive of you to be born on Pokemon Day. So, how you doing, bro? Ashley, do you have a big stream planned for today? Surprised you're not live farming rage bait for how much you hate the new starters. For how much you just despise them. Or some shit. Yeah, Captain's kicking egg. Good morning, guys. What's up, Chris? What's going on, guys? Mike sounds different. Different how, Alf? Now, to be fair, I don't have my full setup back. All right, as I had to redo everything for my, like, honestly, it's a miracle that my computer works and I'm live this week. So I'll take it. I still got to tweak. Honestly, you know what actually happened? My Scarlet Solo and Ella's Scarlet Solo got switched. So I'm currently using her like hardware setup, which is kind of funny. Assad, I'll say the random Dragon Cloud is legendary. They're pretty cool, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm a fan, yo. Hope you're doing well. Have you seen Kate McKegg's Kickstarter? We're nearly at the last stretch goal. I haven't seen Kate's Kate. I would never full name Kate. No, I haven't seen Kate's Kickstarter. Is it up? That's pretty sick, dude. I'll check it out later today then. I like them too, Thorkin. So honestly, it sounds like you're speaking through a pillow. Is my sound off and weird to anybody else? Is it? Wait, what? Is it? What? Is there some audio issues that weren't here yesterday? Mods, Thorkin, do you see anything? Drop by, say hi, drop a lurk, so I'll be hermiting. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's got some distortion, really. Hold on. Distortion? Let me see. At higher volumes, it has some distortion. Let's see if we can fix some of this shit. Because honestly, yeah, I mean, like, everything being broken, one speaker can't tell. No, it's good, Thorkin, you're good. Let's see. Let me just monitor it real quickly. Monitor on. I don't know. Wait. Maybe if I turn this down. Okay. Monitor off. All right. If I turn this shit down, hopefully that should fix it. All right. All right. But yeah, I agree. I really like the 3 starters, Thorkin. Ella said that she more or less was going to make the fucking Pomeranian thing her entire brand. Like, let's face it, Blackwood Dice is no more. It's Ella the fire dog trainer. That is what is it, pom bomb, something like that, some shit. Is that the name of it? I don't know. I'm excited. This looks cool, dude. Also, the other announcements were dope too. Not that I'm playing Legends ZA, I don't know what the fuck this is all about. The weird ass Pikachus, but all in all, it was a good announcement, a good like start to the 30th anniversary of Pocket Monster Go. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it, dog. Dude, there's so many things to do right now. Like, it's amazing the drought of gaming that I've been in for a while, and I went from basically fucking nothing to the shadow drop of a video game for 48-year-old balding obese men, otherwise known as Diablo 2, and I've been playing that basically nonstop. The new Warlock stuff, which is like ridiculous. Why did Blizzard just announce a new class for a 25-year-old game? That's pretty rad. And then this weekend, World of Warcraft comes out, the midnight. So I didn't realize that was yesterday. I had no idea. The early access. So Ella and I played a bit of that last night. And then Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green dropped this morning. So definitely bought that immediately on my Switch, and I'll be playing through that. There's things to do, dude. And I've got shit to do. Goddamn. There's too many things to do. Too much work to do before baby gets here. But I suppose I will have no shortage of games to play when I'm up in the middle of the night trying to convince a fairly upset infant to go back to bed. Okay, let me catch up real quick. Why don't you tell us Yuna's gonna be the first fire starter? Okay, Sabine, you think you're funny, all right? God damn it. Ella's gonna name her Yuna, by the way. You good if I post a link to Kickstarter chat? Didn't want to post without permission. Unfortunately, links from non-mods are they just automatically ban what, like, it just doesn't go through on Twitch. So I'll check it out later on the stream when we're taking a break or something like that. Speed Legends ZA, I'm either gonna need a friend that plays it to trade me or get myself for Pokemon Champions. What? Get what? Oh. Wait, is there some exclusive or some shit in Legends ZA that you need for competitive? Because Ella does have it, honestly. That's one of the reasons we got. So like Ella's like, if you know the mythology around the pregnancy thing, there is something called a push present. All right, and it is the idea of women having their husbands buy them exorbitantly extravagant gifts as a thank you for bearing the child. Now, obviously, that's a fucking ridiculous and stupid tradition, but so are a lot of things that we do. So I jokingly asked Ella what she wanted as a push present, which, by the way, is normally jewelry and diamonds and lavish luxuries and handbags. And Ella, she's like, I don't know, I just want to play the fucking Ditto game. So we got her to Switch 2 so that she has something to do while she's, you know, in the last 2 months of pregnancy and can't move. So she bought the Switch 2 for Ditto game, which comes out in a couple days. But we got her Legends ZA as well, so she had something to get excited about right then and there. So she has it. So if you want some shit or whatever, you can probably let her know, and she can probably trade you whatever it is. Skies have parted, rain new games upon Evan. I know, Saffron. It's like pretty cool. I've been, as I said, I have been in a drought of not having any games I wanted to play for a while. Honestly, if you go to Steam, like, I've been trying to play more games recently. We all know this. Since last like October, I've been trying really hard to play more games, to not just be working all the time, not putting in those, you know, 16-hour days as often, because that shit's gonna kill me. So I've been trying to find video games to just relax with, and I was trying my hardest. You know, I played through Space Marine with Ella late last year, some Rogue Trader, things like that. But I didn't really know. I didn't really have things that were like, I don't know, like a game that I really want to jump into. And obviously, it is not time yet for Cyberpunk for me. So if you look at my Steam. The game I've been playing the most over the last 2 months is unfortunately Age of Empires 2, which makes me feel terrible. I don't know why. It just feels like some you know, like I can't play any new games or whatever. And then I started playing some Pokemon games on Switch. You know, I figured play through Pokemon the Brilliant Pearl, Shining Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, whatever the fuck. Enjoyed that a little bit. Ella's gotten back into Pokemon as well, which is cool because she's had nothing to do while she's sitting on her fucking couch doing, you know, making a human. Holy fuck. And so I was like, man, I gotta get some games to play. And then out of nowhere, the Warlock class drops for Diablo 2. And you don't understand how much of my favorite game Diablo 2 is. There's like probably 4 games maybe that I could probably survive the rest of eternity on, and Diablo 2 is one of them. So New Warlock, dude, I'm doing a single player Grail like playthrough. Holy shit, dude. I have never had so much fun playing Diablo 2 as I am playing it solo. I am so happy to not be on Battle.net. It's not even funny. So yeah, man, it's cool. And then I don't know, then we're also going out for Pokemon Go this weekend, which has been pretty cool because there's like the whole Kalos tour thing, and I still like playing Pokemon Go now and then. So we have that to do this weekend. So we might even go tonight and do some Kyurem raids. I don't know, man. Go to the mall. It's pretty fucking miserable out here and blizzardy and snowy and shit. So I don't know if I really want to drive in town, but we'll see, bro. Give me the new megas. Oh, can you not get? Do you not just have access to all the new mega, like all the Pokemon and champions? I assumed champions was the kind of game where you could just like sort of like spawn the team that you wanted in to play the game. I didn't realize that you had to play a Pokemon game, transfer that shit to Pokemon Champions. I thought that it was just the kind of thing that it was like a competitive, like a pure competitive game where you just had access to everything. Like I thought it was like in some ways like World of Warcraft PvP gear for like tournament servers where it just gives everyone the best gear or whatever. I assume that's what it was for Pokemon Champions, but that's kind of cool if you have to actually go find it or whatever. We don't know their abilities. I have a feeling some of them are going to be busted AF, and I'm going to need it for meta picks. Fair enough, man. Are you going to go hard on this, Alf? Are you going to be pushing for some? Because I know you're pushed. Last competitive game that I knew you were pushing in when I think was Tekken. So that's pretty cool if you're going to go for some ranking in Pokemon. We can get Ella streaming with her Switch now. We could actually, unironically, get her Switch streams going somehow. She's been chill. She's been having fun. She's been like. Obviously, last year was an insane amount of work for her as well. It was the biggest year for Blackwood Dice by a mile. So, I don't know. she needs some time to just chill, bro. I played through that as well. It took me 8 months reading like a goddamn novel. Extremely good, though. Yeah, it's like I love the 40K universe. I've like kind of gotten into it recently. I don't play 40K because I'm not a loser. Like, if I have to pick more than like 3 ancient 48-year-old balding obese man hobbies, I already have Age of Empires, I already have World of Warcraft, and I already have Diablo 2. Do you think if I added like Crusader Kings and Warhammer to my like stack, bro, it'd be over for me? I would just shrivel into an old man. No, actually I like lots about 40K. I like the world. I like reading novels. Like I listen to 40K audiobooks when I'm at the gym. I'm just starting the Eisenhorn books, which is pretty cool. And I like the Space Marine. I like the games. I like the world. I like everything about it. I don't like the tabletop game because it takes too fucking long. But a game like Rogue Trader is pretty fucking sick. So, you know, it's like everything you want about the world without having to play Warhammer for 6 hours. Maybe it's just that I'm anti-game store now that we worked at a game store for so long. But yeah, Rogue Trader was fucking sick, dude. I haven't played the DLC though. Age of blank series of games was a staple of my childhood. That's how, like, I honestly, dude, dad jokes, there's a remaster for Age of Mythology. That might be one of the next things I jump into. I really want to try going through the campaign again for Age of Mythology. Okay, you could rent teams and are able to buy the Pokemon in-game with the in-game currency. You can also just move your own Pokemon from that Pokemon home. Oh, okay, that's way better then. And also, I don't know, maybe it's a like, can you pick if you like buy the Pokemon through currency and shit like that, Elf? Can you guarantee things like natures and stuff and EVs and IVs? Because I believe in what is it in Pokemon Sword and or Scarlet and Violet, you can change the IVs of a Pokemon, I believe, with like in the fucking Snow Town. Am I remembering that wrong? But you can make a max IV Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet with like candy or cookies or some shit, right? So can you just like buy guaranteed, or do you have to like go find, if you want the best Pokemon, you have to find it yourself and then you have to put it into Pokemon Champions, or can you get the best Pokemon in game by buying it or whatever? What's up, Fel? Off to bed though. Been playing through midnight for 18 hours. That's impressive, dude. That's honestly, bro, Silver Moon's so fucking good. I really want to take a Horde character through because I really want to see the like hidden side of Silver Moon. Got a high enough rank in tech and I still play more, but not grinding anymore. Champions win and grind until I hit top rank. Oh shit, dude. All right. I'm excited for you. That's going to be a sick thing to watch. I'd be 100% final form because Palm and Gek are so good. I like the Angry Bird. I like grumpy Pokemon. But the problem is I have picked the grass starter too many times. Like, I'm sick of picking the grass starter. I think I picked in Gen 1 I picked Bulbasaur. In Gen 2 I picked Cyndaquil. In Gen 3 I picked Trico. In Gen 4 I picked Chimchar. Right? So I'm on a fucking fire Pokemon bend here, right? You know, 1 for 3. But then Gen 5 I picked Snivy. I picked Chespin. And then I picked Rowlet. And then I picked Grookey. And then I picked the fucking Sausalito cookie or whatever. So I'm like the last like 5 gens I've hit the grass starter. And so I really don't want to do the grass starter thing again. Because it just feels lame, all right? But there's something about the Grumpy Bird. If they ruin like the most atrocious, unfair slaughtering of a good Pokemon was fucking Rillaboom. It was. I'm sorry, man. You know, Grookey, when we saw the Scarlet and Violet trailer, smacking his little stick, dude, sickest Pokemon in the game, right? Grookey, monkey with stick. Hold up. We see Thwackey, monkey with bigger stick. Okay. So you mean when it fully evolves, we're going to get some Sun Wukong fucking Chimchar ass or Infernape ass, you know, martial arts fucking monkey with a giant staff just smacking the shit out of stuff? No, we got a gorilla. That's okay. Gorillas are fucking sick, man. Holy shit. Are you kidding? A dope ass gorilla Pokemon. Wow. It looks so good. The gorilla Pokemon looks so good. Wait, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is the bongo? Bro, do you know how sick this Pokemon would be if they just give him a big stick? Why they give him the fucking bongo, dude? Dude, what an absolute just slaughtering of the best line in Pokemon as far as I'm considered. The best starter. That is it from Gen 1. So I really don't want to pick Angry Bird. So I might pick Sassy Gecko. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Good morning, Jess. So everybody's so goddamn good. Also, Angry Bird is good too. We'll have to see the final forms exactly. Order gens was water, grass, fire, water, fire. Oh, okay. So, wow, no Cinderace. Okay, interesting. Not a fire or grass enjoyer. I see. Here you picked the best starters except for Gen 1. Dude, Alf, we did the tier list yesterday of all the starters for me, and basically Gen 1 and 2 were perfect. Every other gen sucked. But that's also because my opinion of your favorite starters is informed entirely by what game came out between the ages of 9 through 14. However old you were when you played a Pokemon game at like 11, whatever those starters were are your favorite starters. And you can see it. Every like 25-year-old is like, oh, the black and white starters are the best thing ever. Every 30-something-year-old fucking boomer like me is like, oh, the Gen 1 starters are perfect. You know, every younger millennial-ish, like where I'm kind of teetering onto, is like, Gen 2 was so good. So it's just the way it goes. It's unfortunately the way it goes. You get like, the problem is there's not a lot of representation for the later gens, because the problem is that the kids who are like 17, 18 now that were 10 when whatever gen came out, they don't have enough of a ability to form a fucking coherent opinion because you're a teenager, right? Like you're Your opinion when you're a teenager is you know, but just wait until they're in their mid-20s and they start making fucking YouTubes or TikTok longs or YouTube shorts or Instagram hollows or whatever the fuck we're gonna have in however many years, and they'll be sitting there being like, oh no, Gen 12 is the most based gen for starters, and everyone who disagrees, like, it's just the way it is, man. They're all great. It's just whatever gen you were fucking 10 over, you know?
Was the best starter. I hope this Pomeranian grows up into the giant muscle dog.
What did I just say?
Undertale, just for the cursed
what did I just say?
Started trend.
Please don't say these things you don't mean, Aduria. Aduria, how old are you? When did Ruby Pokemon release? Let's see. 2002. Were you in that 8 to 13 range when Ruby came out? Was that your Pokemon? fucking knew it.
Oh, I mean it. And I turned
fucking
29
dude,
on Sunday.
It's so easy. Oh my god. Oh my god, it never misses. It never misses. Holy shit. Oh, it's true. Also, thanks for the 200 bits, man. But see, couple years younger than me. I was Gen 2, couple years younger than me. Gen 3. There it is, man. You know, that's why all the 24-year-olds are like, oh, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Black and White. And then we all have the 20-year-olds that are, you know, it's just the trend. It's how it goes, man. The 25-year-olds have enough nostalgia for Pokemon. That's a good question, actually. When do you start getting nostalgic in life? That's a great question, Chris. I think around 25 is probably when you first start feeling nostalgic for the first time, because your mid-20s is when you realize how hard life actually is for the first time. Because like when you're in your teens, you don't give a shit about anything, and that's great. When you're in your early 20s, you're like, I'm an adult now. I've got adult money. I'm going to do adult things and go fucking move to Jakarta or whatever. And then 25 is when you roll around, you get your first medical debuff. You know, you have your first big breakup where you get married or whatever. You're out of school and you have to find a job for the first time. And you're like, shit, this is really tough. Man, I miss when it was easy. And that's what you're nostalgic for, is the thing that you enjoyed when it was easy. See? What if the dog literally evolves into Buff Pup? What if the dog... Oh my god. What if they just take the scrapped middle evolution for Arcanine and just give that the dog... Oh my god, they could do so many things with this. They could do so many things with this, dude. Every time Gen 1 gets a remake, it's going to throw off our ability to tell how old someone is, though. That's true, actually. That's a good point. Because when did Let's Go come out? Well, I mean, that's not really... Oh god, Let's Go really a Pokemon game? I think it's fun. I started replaying it like a couple weeks ago with Ella because she wanted to jump in on it, you know? And it's like, is it really a Pokemon game? Is it? We need to put bets on if the dog stays on 4 legs. Otherwise, I'm off to bed. I need sleep. Have a good day. I am going to say the dog stays on 4 legs, and if it doesn't, we're gonna burn down Nintendo, all of it. Yep, we're gonna turn to Final Fantasy VII eco-terrorists and burn down Nintendo if they make the fucking dog stand on 2 legs. We know that the gecko will stand on 2 legs because fucking Nintendo. I'm hoping that the bird just gets larger and fluffier and fat. Like, I hope they all just get larger, fluffier, and fatter. You know, we never have that as a progression for starters, so. In places Gen 1, the best starters, in my opinion, is Rowlet. Ooh, really? Nostalgia targeting missile? Yeah, sorry, bro. Sorry, man. I sidestep all that mid-20s feeling by moving to China at 28, the 30s to be hard. Yeah, what? Dude, you had a fucking adventure, my guy. Wait, do you still live in China? You just left it. I'm like, oh, I hope Chris is doing good. Like, damn, bro. What do you mean is Let's Go a Pokemon game is more a Pokemon game than Scarlet and Violet, and I'll die on that hill? Well, I just mean that the limiting of the traditional, like, do we consider, now here's the thing, here's what we got to talk about, here's the question, is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, is that in the mainline Pokemon games? Is it a side, is it a side detour of mainline Pokemon games, or is it the first progenitor of the Legends games, which you can call them mainline Pokemon games if you want? I would say they are somewhere in between a Rescue, Mystery, Dungeon Explorers, GX, EX, and a mainline game. I don't consider them to be like, you know, they're like kind of in between. They're in limbo.
Let's Go belong in the same bin as Mystery Dungeon.
Oh, you put them all the way over there? All right, okay. See, that's fair. I, like, if you put it either place, I see validity in that opinion. I see validity there. Okay, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this yet. So, nostalgia focused missile. I'd say that leaving home is a good boundary, and that has moved with the times. Moved out at 17 and gather. That is early now. That is very early now. Yeah, I think that does delay it. I think you're right about that, Samurai. Moved to Sweden for 2 years after that, then in Canada for a bit, then UK for a bit, now back in this town somehow. Wait, really? He just bounced fucking ping pong around the world. Now you're back. Okay, cool, man. Fuck, I gotta hear the story, bro. It's not mainline. Mainline's only Gen 1 to 9. I don't even count Remax as mainline, but Mega Rupee Alpha Sapphire isn't mainline to me. Oh, okay. I mean, I consider those mainline, but a mainline remake, kind of like they belong in the same tier. So like Gen 1, I'd put like 3 Gen 1 games, and then Fire and Leaf. Gen 2, I put Heart and Soul in there as well. Not like the next step in it or whatever. But I would never consider. Well, I'm saying never. Like it's fucking like it matters. I don't personally consider the Legends game. Like I honestly, okay, I'm playing Legends Arceus. Okay, so I never really want to play Legends Arceus. Why? Because I think it looked a little dumb. It's like not my jam. But with Ella playing Legends ZA on her Switch, I was like, let me try Legends Arceus, and I'll try. She played it, she liked it, she's enjoying ZA, and I started playing Legends Arceus, and I'm like maybe only like 2 or 3 hours into the game, but I'm just not enjoying it. I don't know why. I really want to. I think the concept is kind of neat. It just feels like there's too much to, like, I'm not getting the hang of it. It's not intuitive to me. You know, I don't know why. I just can't. I'm wondering if I'll get used to it, but it's just not it for me. But I'm hoping that Legends ZA is more fun or better, because yeah, Legends Arceus is not. It's not doing it, man. It's not doing it. I'm not feeling it. But I will be playing through Leaf Green and Fire Red with Ella. That'll be fun. She's very excited about that. So she's also ridiculously excited about Pokemon Pokopia, and she wants me to get a Switch 2 now, so we can play it together, because she didn't know there was a multiplayer. And Ella and I have a history of Minecraft. When Ella and I were youngins, teenagers, whatever, growing up, we grew up playing Minecraft, okay? We started playing Minecraft when I was recovering from a surgery in my early 20s, and we were playing it on the Xbox 360 for the first time, and I'm like, oh shit, we should play this on the PC when I like can actually, like, you know, get out of bed. I think I was in bed for like 2 weeks or whatever with that surgery. So then we started playing Minecraft. It was awesome. We played Minecraft on and off till like, I think the last time we played Minecraft was late last year. We went on a 2-week Minecraft adventure, whatever, got some new mod packs and stuff, and it was fun. So with Pokopia being a combination of Minecraft and what's the shitty game for people that don't like video games? Fuck. What is Pokopia based off of? The fuck. Damn it! Everybody played it. With the fucking people and the owl. Oh god! I said the name of it earlier today. You know what I mean? Animal Crossing. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes. It's a cross between Minecraft and Animal Crossing, and it looks great, honestly. And so Ella played the shit out of Animal Crossing in 2020 during the lockdowns, when all of our friend group played Animal Crossing, and she loved it. And then obviously Minecraft. So finding out she can go on Minecraft adventures, she really wants to play together. But I don't know if I really want to buy another Switch, because buying one Switch was like, that was like our thing for the year. You know, that Switches are expensive, dude. It was like $700 for a Switch. So yeah, I don't know. The issue comes timeline, because when you look at there's a timeline in the games Gen 1-4 being the first timeline, Gen 5 onward being the next timeline, with every region having gimmicks. Yeah, do we know from leaks or anything what gimmick this is going to be? Because like, honestly, maybe this is a bad take, and like, tell me if this is a bad take. I'm fine. I don't have an opinion on my opinion. I'm just letting the thought out. I think that I liked the gimmick of Mega Evolutions enough that if they just brought that back, knowing that, by the way, ZA has added all these Megas, if they just brought back Mega in Wind and Waves and just added another 20 Megas in addition to what's already there, even in Legends ZA, which is now 1 billion of them, I'd be fine with that. I also liked Gigantamax. I thought that shit was cool. I like Gigantamax. It's kind of dumb, didn't really do much but I don't play competitively. I just like, cool, you see Fat Pikachu in the fucking hotel fighting and you're like, okay, that's cool. You know, Gigantamax Charizard's rad. Next time they bring it out in Pokemon Go, I'm gonna grind that shit to finally get a shiny Gigantamax Charizard. Holy shit, you won't even know, man. I like Gigantamax. I liked Mega. I didn't care for Z moves. I'm honestly, around Christmas I started playing through Ultra Sun and fucking Ultra Moon, because I never played those. I played Sun and Moon, and I bought Ultra Sun and Moon. I never played them because I was like, I just played through Sun and Moon. And I don't even have the Z fucking move thingy equipped to my dudes, and I'm on like the 4th island. So I don't even give a shit about that. Z moves miss me with that shit. Terrestrialization. I thought Terrestrialization looked really dumb, and I don't like it. I think Terrestrialization sucked, I'll admit. So I don't know. Like if it's a new gimmick, that's cool, but I wouldn't be mad if they just brought back more Megas for Winds and Waves. You know, like, I don't know if that's a bad take or not. I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay. I'd be fine with that. You know, I put Let's Go games in category separate from the main line, but adjacent because the completely different game loop of the way the battles work, in the same group as Mystery Dungeon Revamp. So would you put Let's Go games closer to the Legends games, or would you put them closer to the mainline games if you had to? If you had to choose between one of those categories, would you say it's closer to Let's Go, or sorry, Legends, or closer to? Because I feel like it's kind of like closer to in some ways than Legends after having played through Arceus, or played part of Arceus now. I played a new Pokemon game for years. Last time I played was Gold and Silver remakes, but it's always tempting to return. They look pretty weird to me now, though. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like, you always have to, I think, have a good sense of like reminding yourself these games are for 10-year-olds. Like, I really didn't like the Scarlet and Violet sort of like legendaries turning into fucking motorcycles. I thought that was just stupid. But I realized if I was 10, I'd think that was rad. So no, I mean, I still enjoy every new time there's a new Pokemon game. I enjoy going through it. If you do, Chris, if you like the old school games and you like that vibe and you like the, you know, the Pokemon that you know, but you want a newer experience, honestly, maybe I don't know if this is true, but I'm concerned every day that I think this through. I think Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire might be the Pokemon games that I have had the most fun in the last like not being 10 years old. They're the remakes of Ruby Sapphire, and they were 10 out of 10 games. They were everything you'd want the remake to be, plus they added a bunch of new stuff. They were insanely good. There's also a remake for Diamond and Pearl, which some people don't like. I haven't finished it, so I don't have an opinion on it, but they seem fine to me. Just maybe not as good as Mega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. So, honestly, if you want to try some shit out and you have a 3DS or whatever, I might, or an emulator or whatever, I might give that a try. If you don't love the new ones because it's just too weird for you, if these like new starters and stuff are like not your cup, that's fair enough. But if you kind of like feel the itch, I'd try those ones. Terra was the stupidest shit ever. I just don't like it either, man. Competitively, it's the best gimmick in my opinion. Why is it the best gimmick competitively? Because I don't play Pokemon competitively. I never played Pokemon competitively because there was one guy I knew who played Pokemon. Sorry, two guys, two people in our friend group one who played it with him and the other who played it like very seriously. And when I heard them talk about competitive Pokemon, it made me want to bully them. I was like, oh, I get it now when we get bullied. Oh, when we're talking about Magic the Gathering, this is what other people think of us. What I'm talking about Magic the Gathering is what I think of them when they're talking about competitive Pokemon. Okay, got it. Okay. No, I just never got into it. I like when we were in high school, when you would get into it, I never jumped in because they were just so obnoxious. And then, I don't know, I just never found my love for it. So, home games were 7.8, too much water. Damn, Garth, and that's an opinion, bro. But all the cool islands in Omega Ruby, and you can fly on Latios. At this point, they can, because now the gen will not be limited competitively gameplay as much as since from now on, competitive circuit is going to be on Champions. One of the meta they have been based on Champions games, such as mainline games, can be genuine, or it can genuinely bring back all the gimmicks they want. Right, exactly. I think Champions is great for that because they can leave the games alone. Because like, the first game, I think it was Sword and Shield. Yeah, I'm almost positive it was Sword and Shield was the first game that they did not bring in previous generation Pokemon. And the reason why I recall them saying not was because the games were too big or there's too many Pokemon or whatever, is too confusing. The reason they said they didn't bring the full breadth of Pokemon into Sword and Shield, if I recall, was one, because they wanted it, there was too much and we wanted you to focus on the new Pokemon. That's bullshit. But two, they said they didn't really want to balance PvP for all the ancient Pokemon that ever existed. And I, being a guy who's never played Pokemon for PvP, I just shiny hunt and then like don't think about the game for another 2 years. I was like, that's stupid. Fucking competitive Pokemon nerds ruining our game for 10-year-olds. You know? I was really mad about that. I was mad that my game for 10-year-olds was ruined by a bunch of 28-year-olds. So if they separate and they're willing to like add stuff in that maybe is broken or doesn't work or whatever into new mainline Pokemon games, because they keep Champions as this really tuned, tight, adjusted Pokemon game, I think that's phenomenal. You know? To go a step closer to Legends because of the story being the same as mainline games. Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's good family ones that I really enjoyed. What, Taros or what? Mega Ruby Alpha Software is sick because you get to change your defensive typing and enhance your offensive typing. Oh, so you can. Oh, that's right. Yeah, right. Because when you Terra, you can use. Okay, yeah. So that, you know what, that does make sense because that adds another sort of like layer to being able to kind of adjust the rock paper scissors of typing. That makes sense. So I still play Magic. I've got a mortgage now. It's not the cards for me these days. No, I haven't bought. The last time I bought a Magic the Gathering trading card game, playing card, TM Wizards of the Coast 1999, Wizards of the Richard Garfield games, whatever. The last time I bought one was, I have a sealed box of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty in there. Because after the great merger and the usurpation of the throne at the store, and I basically got told that I didn't have a job anymore, and I was like, okay, I'll go to Japan for a while and I'll just work as a graphic designer, make more money anyway. But after I left the game store, I sold most of my cards. I don't have shit anymore. I sold almost everything at GPs and stuff to pay for wedding and everything else and whatever. So I don't have shit for cards anymore. The only card I regret selling. The only card I regret selling was my Lotus. That's the only fucking one. I sold every other piece of power, every other reserve list piece of shit, and the only card I regret selling was the Lotus. If I just kept that, I'd be happy. So fuck. But no, I can't buy Magic the Gathering cards anymore because I can't afford it. I can't afford Magic anymore. Yeah, I mean, with collector's boxes being above 500, like, what is a new collector's box? You know, for new. And also the Universes Beyond, I just think are a little lame. If they did a Universes Beyond like once in a while and it was something that really fit like Baldur's Gate, I think that was fine. But like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avatar, like look, this shit's not for me, man. This shit's not for me. This fucking pizza bundle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, whatever shit. Like, how much is the collector's booster box? Collector's booster box of Who Asked set that isn't selling out, that's not like Final Fantasy or whatever, is $600 Canadian. I just can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Lorwyn, hey, look, Lorwyn, that's pretty cool. We remember Lorwyn back in fucking 2004, whatever. That's cool. They're redoing Lorwyn. That okay. Okay. So that's 612. So that's $50 a booster. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry, Wizards. Sorry, I didn't mean to accidentally look at your product. My bad. I don't know if I owe you guys like $30 now or something because I looked at a screenshot of your booster box. No, I like Magic still as a game. I think Magic the Gathering is the best of the main card games that are out right now as far as like the mechanics go. But like I'm just not gonna play. So like Flesh and Blood's cool, you know. Lorcana's kind of fun, right? But like, nah. Oh, your cards got stole. Jeez, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. Who wouldn't be excited about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man? My God. I don't know. Well, anyway, big day. Pokemon, World of Warcraft, Silver Moon City. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of things out there, man. We gotta get excited for this game because I really wanna be excited for this game. I want to look forward to what is up with this. I don't understand this part of the announcement with the weird fucking Pikachus. I don't get this. Like, is this some cultural reference that I'm missing? Like, is Wind and Waves based in some island in fucking, you know, North Bering Sea, fucking Jakarta, south of Tokyo, that they have a cultural like, is this based on something that I should understand if I understand the cultural basis of where Wind and Waves is from? Because I didn't understand this whatsoever. Southeast Asia, that's what I heard from the leaks, is that it was supposed to be based like kind of Indonesia type thing, like Southeast Asian islands, but I don't understand this as a reference to anywhere in Southeast Asia. Like, this looked to me more like, and I really apologize if I'm disregarding some sort of like important cultural garb. This to me looked like tacky, like Hawaii vacation. Like, if this was like the Pikachus that popped out for Alola, I'd be like, oh, I get it. It's kind of tacky, whatever, you know, flowers and shit. Like, okay, that's cute. But I didn't understand this. So if there's a cultural reference to it that I can like zero in on and be like, ha, that's clever, then cool. But I don't know. This is gonna be good. I'm excited. The characters look cool too. Honestly, I like the characters. But remember, if you're over the age of 18, you have to pick the male character. You have to pick the male character if you're an adult. If you're like a 12-year-old and you want to pick the female character, that's fine. But in a world where everyone plays a blood elf, a female blood elf man in World of Warcraft, because if I gotta stare at an ass all day, I may as well stare at a hot ass, and they go play the girl in Pokemon, we got problems. So, you know, make sure you don't fall into that trap. All right, man. I live in Southeast Asia. I don't get it either. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, as long as I'm not missing something, you know, super important or whatever. But most important takeaway before we get into our project for today is Ella Blackwood, Palm Bomb Enjoyer. There it is, right there. I should do Palm Bomb fan art, shouldn't I, today? Just do a dramatic sketch of Palm Bomb after we're done Octus. But today I really want to finish this Octus Tacona sketch for our weird Skelly boy. So gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream today because I think Ellen and I are gonna go to the mall and do a little bit of shopping in town, do a Costco run, and then maybe if we stop by the mall during raid hour, we can go and do a couple of raids in Pocket Monster Go. To which I am, in fact, the only person I know that still plays Pokemon Go. And yet, every time we go to the mall for an event, there are hundreds. Like if you guys know Chinook Mall in Calgary or Market Mall or fucking Cross Iron Mills or whatever, any mall, any event, there are hundreds of Pokemon Go players. It's ridiculous. So I've gone to the mall twice this week for the different raids for Origin Form, Groudon, and Kyogre. To which it is not easy to waddle Ella around the mall. It is not easy. She at 7-something months or whatever pregnant is she's a waddling. She so she's kind of just chilling and sitting while I go and go and get her the the raid, whatever it is. But it's okay. I see lots of parents out with their kids playing Pokemon Go, and I want to be that so bad, dude. I want to take my little guy out. I want to play Pocket Monster Go with our little guy. We got to give him some starters, dude. We got to give him some starters so that he can properly pick his make his choice. Like, I don't know what it says about you if you pick like whatever starter from Gen 1 or Gen whatever. I wish we were one of those like really bougie rich nerd parents that could get like plushies for every game starter or whatever, and then just be able to offer him the option for picking each one of his generation starters. But bro, those plushies are like $30 each, man. You think I'm gonna buy more than one generation of plushies? What the hell, dude? Like Pokemon Go definitely saved at least one mall from shutting down somewhere in the world. Probably. Look, I like Pokemon Go still for one reason. It makes going to the gym a little more fun. Because I'll go to the gym Monday through Friday and go this morning because we ended up watching the fucking Wind and Waves thing. But I go to the gym 5 days a week. And while I'm there, I turn on my Go Plus thingy, all right? And then when I leave the gym, I get to see what cool little Pokemons I caught. And I'm like, ha, neat. And then I go home and have a good day. And you know what? Those novelties are a good thing in life. They're a necessary in life, one might say. One being me. I'm one. I say it. Got sleep now. Got to work early tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of the stream. I'll leave the PC on lurk, but won't be here sadly. Alf, I appreciate it. You do important work, man. Keep up the good efforts, and sleep well, brother. Alf out here saving lives, literally out saving lives. I draw dragons for a living. He saves people's lives, man. Can you imagine that? Imagine the responsibility. I can. It's awful. Sounds awful. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, dude. So today we're drawing Octus Taconis, the man from Critical Role Campaign 5 or whatever they're on right now. In the series of Campaign 4 characters, we've done Thimblenackle, Tayor, Travis is a furry sire. Who else we done? We did Catigan Vale, Tyranny, and did we do anyone else? I forget. Wait, let's see right here. Octus, Thimble, Catigan, Tayor, Azune, and Valus. That's who we were forgetting. Azune and Valus. So, almost getting through the fan art series. I don't know what we'll do after this. I think that I might do a brief interlude of in the next fan art series on Fridays. A brief interlude to get some like random things done. Like I really want to do some BattleTech fan art. For what reason? Don't worry about it. No good one. Just because I like my old man games. All right, BattleTech is one of them. And what else? Yeah, just the BattleTech stuff. And then I want to keep going on the VTuber fan art series. I have a number of VTuber friends that have debuted, re-debuted, try-debuted that need updated art. And I realized I never actually did art for my dear friend Vixie. I did D&D character art for her, but I never ever did art of Vixie for Vixie. So I don't know how many of my VTuber friends appreciate the like fantasy art style, but I'll find the ones that do and I'll do fan art for them. We'll do that for a couple weeks and be fun. I always like that. Maybe I'll just draw Miniful again to see if she still fucking hates me. As per that alert that Dark likes so much. I really gotta make that alert like a rare spawn instead of a guarantee. It's too easy. It's too easy for it to pop up and have Minnie just tell me she fucking hates me. But after that, I was thinking about returning, actually, before we go too far off onto the tangent of fan art. Returning to what do we call it? Request Friday. Friday request streams. There we go. Request streams. I think we're going to go back to those for a little while. Do those for a couple weeks because I will want some streams during the time right before and after baby comes that are just basically I'm able to chill. You know, I'm able to do whatever I want and not have to prep for anything.
50 months.
Oh, what's up, Croc? How's it going, dude? Croc, you still up in Alaska? God damn, bro. 50 months is a long fucking time, dude. How's it going, bro? Good to see ya. Welcome in for your 50-month. Holy shit, dude. I'm honored. That's a long-ass time. It's good to see you, my friend. Jeez, bro. We're creeping up on a long time streaming here, aren't we? Never leaving? Wait, Alaska? You're never coming home? Fuck it. Put roots down, start wearing plaid? That's awesome, dude. Yeah, people who like Alaska fucking love it. There's something about it, you know? Like, a lot of Canada is very similar in that kind of like very close to the wilderness and whatever. And I suppose if you don't mind the winter, if you can handle it, you can handle the cold, and you like being kind of like out there, it's the last true frontier of North America, as they say. You have a partner here now? Oh shit, dude, congratulations. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Man, what a great trip that's been then, or decision to take the trip. It's no longer a trip because, yeah, if you're staying there, that's cool, dude. Alaska's fucking beautiful. I've only ever done tourist Alaska. I've never done like real Alaska. Because the only time I ever went to Alaska was on an old people cruise. And that was awesome. All right. Tourist Alaska was great. I liked it. I didn't mind it whatsoever. Okay. So I can only imagine how great like actually living there would be. I am, however, a summer Canadian, so I don't dude. I want to get away from the cold so bad. I just want to live somewhere nice. You know, just get me out of this shit. I'm so tired of winter. But maybe my constitution's just too weak. Maybe I'm a little bitch, or maybe I'm just tired of it, having lived in deep winter for fucking 3 decades. So I look at Alaska having even harsher winters, and I'm like, ugh, I can't imagine. But I think if you don't mind that, if you can like handle and you love the winter, dude, is there anywhere better to live than, you know, in the north, mountains and all sorts of crazy shit, wildlife, ocean, delicious food, free money. They still pay you to live in Alaska? I think they do, right? I think they pay you to live in Alaska or certain like remote parts of Canada and shit. I did the Alaska cruise last summer and loved it. Did you do Alaska cruise or old people Alaska cruise? Because we did. So my mother-in-law took Elle and I on. She's like, you guys need to go on a cruise at some point. We're like, okay. And so she booked us on an Alaska cruise. So her and her husband and Elle and I, and this was years ago, but we went on the old people cruise line, Holland America. And honestly, Elle and I think we were the youngest people on the cruise in like our late 20s. I didn't mind it. I love being around old people. Dude, you could complain about anything at any time, and there was somebody who was also mad about it, and they don't know why. I went up one day into one of the bars, and I just sat down at a table with like 5 old dudes in like old dude sweaters that didn't know, you know, they didn't know each other. They're just sitting there complain, like you get your drink and you sit down and you each take turns complaining about stuff, right? And like they'll get mad about it with you. Like you don't know each other, you don't care about it, you're not invested. But if you are mad at something, you know, you want to complain about it, they will like they will justify your frustration and also be mad about it. You're like, you know, I had to stand in line for 20 minutes the other day. Like, everything's about lines. We can put a man in the moon, but we can't make lines go fast. We can't open another till at Superstore. I'm like, and everybody's mad about it, right? And like, then after you're all mad, after you take turns where one guy gets mad about something and then all of the other old guys get justifiably or unjustifiably mad about it with them, then you're all just sitting there quiet, staring for a minute, you know, like making old man mouth noises. You know a bunch of old guy. You have like one old guy making old man mouth noises, just. But you get like 5 of them. It's like an old man mouth noise symphony. You know, you start to like harmonize. It's crazy. And then someone else will remember something. You know, one guy's like sort of nodding off, and then one guy will take like a loud sip of his whiskey and then start complaining about something from 35 years ago that no one remembers and didn't actually happen to him. And then you just get mad again. It's great. And you do that for like 3 hours, bro. It's fantastic, man. Being around old people is the best. But like, here's the thing: you have to be around like rich old people. So like, you could just go to seniors home and be mad at. No. You have to be around rich old people because they're mad about stuff, but they're also kind of like dickish about it. You know. And that's the best. It can't be like, because if they're mad, if an old person's mad about something, but it's like it actually kind of sucks, then it's kind of sad, right? It's like you go to the old folks home and guys are like, oh, I haven't seen my grandkids in 5 years. They don't come to see me. And my son just lost his job and divorced his 3rd wife, and you're like, shit, that's just sad old people problems. I want like funny old people problems, you know, like how they moved like the shelves with the mayonnaise at the supermarket and now he doesn't know where it is, or like they changed aisles, they combined the cookies and the health biscuit aisle and the guy accidentally bought fucking the wrong cookies or whatever. You like, that's the funny shit you want to listen to old people complain about. All right, and you get that when you talk to rich old people. And where do you find rich old people? Cruises. I thought this through. Old People Alaska Cruise was the best, super chill and relaxing. Wait, where was I? Oh, if you didn't know, it was referencing now meme review the ORS games where the summary had a negative for too much water. Yeah, I remember that. Garthen. I recall, I think that was IGN or whatever. No, dude, I want to do another cruise at some point in time. I really do. But I want to do like a warm location cruise, you know? I am definitely a like if I had to pick, if I could pick, if I could choose my destiny, and I had the cash, the money, the influence, the power to choose whereabouts I spend the rest of my life I live, it's a toss-up between 2 locations. The first would be Yokohama, Japan. I would live there in an instant. Okay? People talk about the novelty of Japan wearing off. It never wore off on me. I've spent, like, at this point, months of my life in Japan. And I always come back and I'm mad. I'm just mad that I have to come back to North America, you know? Where everybody's, like, a little bit ruder. Things are a little bit less efficient. Everything's dirtier. Shit smells worse, you know? But, like, besides that, it's just better over there. That or the island of Maui. I would live on Maui in the state of Hawaii. So either way, places that don't get much, you know, bad weather, as it were. There are other places in Japan I'd live. There's a lot of places in Japan I wouldn't fucking live because I don't like pet-sized insects. I don't love pet-sized insects. And if you go south in Japan, like Japan kind of looks like a banana. It looks like a banana with like a, you know, a hat and a shoe. Unit agrees. You want to live on like just latitude. As you go further south in Japan, the size of insects increases. As you go further north in Japan, the size of insects decreases, but snow increases. But the thing is that like Hokkaido gets ridiculous snow and Aomori gets ridiculous snow, but it's not fucking cold there. They get like shit tons of snow, but it stays at like -3. Dude, I don't mind the snow. I don't mind the snow much, really. The snow's fine. Who fucking cares about snow? Snow's great. It's the -28 wind chill, -45. It's the -45 wind chill, -62 days here that I'm not a big fan of. It's the not being able to go out in like a sweater and that's it that I don't love about winter. It's the putting boots on the dog for a half an hour before I take her out for her, you know, third outing of the day before noon. That's the shit that I'm not a fan of. So I'd be okay even living in North Japan. I wouldn't want to live in South Japan because they have brutal insects there. But North, it's pretty chill, man. You know, just don't go into caves. But I don't go into caves. What do I need to go in a cave for? There's like bugs and shit that live in there, man. They can live there. It's okay. They stay out of my house, I'll stay out of theirs. I will say Japanese insects are more polite. I did have a roommate with Centipede-san. I did room with him for a while on one trip when we went to stay at Ryokan in Toyoka Prefecture. And he was really well behaved. You know, I'd see him once in a while, but he would just sort of like scuttle. And I'd be like, all right, man, I'll catch you later. And he'd just scuttle away. So really nice manners. Picture old man Evan on a cruise with 20-ish youngins complaining about everything else versus Yokohama. I could do that. Like, I think I am ready to settle into retirement at some point in time, you know? Like, whenever it hits, dude, I can't wait to be 60. I got like a while to go, unfortunately, before that, but I'm gonna be such a good old dude to be around, you know? But I think our generation will be way more fun as old people, because old people now are like, oh, I gotta like, you know, get my cane and stare out the window and shit. But our generation are gonna be like, yo, where are we dropping, boys? Yo, Fortnite 3 just came out. Where are we dropping? You'll have like gaming PC setups in seniors' homes and shit. Like, imagine it being like a seniors' home, like amenities package, including like arcade. Like, how sick would that be, dog? You go stay at your senior home or whatever, you move in, and they got like a full fucking arcade. They got like pinball machines and Tron and shit. They got the Star Wars battle pod. Holy. Could you imagine? It'd be so good, dude. Seniors' homes when we're old are gonna be sick. Now they're just well, they're something. They're something. The only seniors' home I ever have to go to is one that my dad's wife's mom lives at. So and it's nice, but no video games, weirdly. I don't know why old people don't like video games. You'd think they like video games more, because like if you're like 85, what do you have better to do than to grind SOJs in Diablo 2? What like, I'm sorry, what do you have better to do than to farm Hell Mephisto? Really? Can't wait to get old? I know, dude, it's gonna be sick. Be fucking sick, bro. We'll like be playing Hearthstone and shit on our fucking Oculus iPads or whatever. I don't know. I do imagine though that if TTRPGs are still a thing, you're gonna have old people playing D&D rampantly. You know? But it'll be kind of sad. Because you know how like the meme about D&D is like, oh, in D&D, the most like fantastical thing we can do is like like give your players enough money to be able to afford a home. In this economy, then everybody makes a joke about how that's the fantasy experience for a person in their 30s is being able to go on an adventure, make enough gold to buy their own like small cottage somewhere outside of a quaint town. When we're old, it'll be like the D&D adventure is like your grandkids come to see you without it being like a birthday. You know, they just come to see you on a weekend. Or like whatever other shit old people will get excited about. You know? Like fucking curling or something. I don't know. I don't know what old people get excited about. I don't really have many old people I get to talk to in a day. And when I do, I'm having a harder time relating than I used to, even as a young'un. As a young buck, I had an easier time relating to old people than I do now. If we're complaining in the rich old people, it's fine, like cruises, but like real old people, they're just, you know... They just want to talk about like how Tim Hortons changed their coffee and when did Tim Hortons get bought? Grandfather, that was like maybe a decade ago. No, it changed in the last couple of years. No, Grandpa, that was a decade ago. No, I would know. Grandpa, you don't know your own name on days that I don't put it on your underwear, so I don't know if you would remember when they sold Tim Hortons or not. That kind of shit. Yo, Vale, what's up, dude? What's good? How you been? How's progress in the comic going? I haven't been around for art streams. I've got some gaming shit, but I haven't been around for any art streams of yours in the evenings. I haven't seen any progress or work being done. I don't know if it got paused for a while or if I've just missed out on the entire process, but good to see you, dude. Looking good? Yeah. Thanks, dude. We're drawing our homeboy, Master Octus Taconis from Critical Role. We got to do him, and then I think all we have left is... actually, I say all we have into left. There's like 5 characters left, isn't there? I forget how big Campaign 4 is. I thought I've been working on this for weeks, which I have, but, you know... The whole crew. There's a lot of them, man. Look, I've been busy. I've had things to do. Taking care of pregnant women is a full-time job. Get back to art streaming? Let's go, dude. Yeah, Taisha, Hal, Bolaire, and Julian, I think, are the ones that I haven't done. I think Taisha might be next. I'll admit, I'm not excited to draw Bolaire because I don't know. Taisha's gonna be fun. I don't even know what Hal looks like. What the fuck does Hal look like? Oh, right. Yeah, just orc dude. Just orc dude. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. And then Taisha, meh. You know, cooler design, but nothing like crazy to do with the like, you know, no crazy jewelry or anything to mess around with. It's gonna be fun to draw her like braids and stuff and jewelry. But then Bolaire, I don't know. Like drawing a mask, it's like there's not like a stylization I can do it, right? I think I'm gonna retire. I'm just gonna turn into a mentor NPC quest giver that makes outdated references and babbles incoherently about how dangerous it is to go alone. That's a great idea. Yeah, it's the thing I remember about as an artist is because a lot of times artists feel like they're behind, and I definitely feel like that sometimes too in like my career or whatever. But I realized that like retirement age for artists is not 65. Like artists who are in it for the love of the game don't retire. So I remember I changed my perspective on that entirely when I had heard someone was accepting an award for somebody who was a guy who like passed away in his like 90s or whatever, or some shit, and then he got a reward sort of like posthumously, and his friend accepted it for him. I forget what it was, but regardless, he talked about how he was like working until the day he died. He was drawing the morning that he like passed away or whatever, you know. and or yeah, the day before he like, you know, passed peacefully in his sleep or whatever, but he was like working up until then. It's like, oh yeah, we don't have like a like I'm not excited to get to the end of my career and be able to like retire, be like, oh, I have enough money, I don't have to work anymore, and then just not, you know, like I will choose to do this forever. So that is kind of nice. Take some of the pressure off. Like, oh my god, I'm this age and I haven't got my, you know, whatever done, my game studio, or you know. So got to the part where I have to draw male characters and I'm freezing up. Like manly men drawings are hard. Oh, dude, I get it. I don't relate, but I understand, because I learned male anatomy from Dragon Ball Z. So like, you know, when you're young and you learn how to draw characters and you don't actually understand how to draw a person, you don't know how to like form sort of like, you know, bone structure. You don't know how to form anything. You don't understand how shapes are constructed. You don't understand bones. You don't understand muscles. You don't understand like any, like you can't like, before you go to art school and you learn how to draw like musculature over a skeleton and be able to construct people sort of like that, right? Before you do all that shit and you're just sort of like drawing like shapes and whatever, and you're like, oh, well, you draw like a hand by doing like this, and then this, and then you draw like this, and then a line, and then this, and now you can draw a fist or whatever, because you like learned in your how to draw manga book when you were like 12 or whatever. So you don't actually know forms or whatever. This is my problem. When I learned how to draw men, I learned how to draw men from Dragon Ball Z. So like I just assumed that like every dude had like jacked fucking, you know, pecs and had like massive lats. Like I had no idea what the lat line was. Like I didn't understand that when you had like sort of the frame box of a person, that like the back lateral muscles are the things that create that sort of Superman kind of like butterfly pose or whatever, that like kind of triangular shape on like jacked dudes. I didn't understand any of this shit. So the problem for me was not learning how to draw manly men. For me, the problem was learning how to draw women. All right, when I was in high school, I realized I couldn't draw women without making them fucking jacked, like huge, right? Like giving them giant fucking lats and stuff, and you know, I couldn't do it. I had no idea. So I had to spend some time in the tank, and I had a whole bunch of friends. Dude, when I think of my experience in school, what the fuck was I? I had like 4 friends that would model for me. Like we would just go to like my house or their house or whatever, and they would just like strip down and I would just draw them. And it's like, what an opportunity. I just didn't even know. I was like such an artist that I was like, ah, yes, I must study the human form. You know, it's like, yeah, sure, have the maturity in art school, but when you're in high school, what are you doing, man? Fucking goddamn, bro. So I had to go through a whole training arc to learn how to draw women, to understand how to draw women. And then the problem is that the main person I had to reference for drawing the female form was Ella. And Ella is like tall and beautiful. She's like 6 foot, you know, fucking blonde Valkyrie, whatever. So in art school, a lot of the women that I would draw when I'm doing character designs were really tall. And like, tallness is an elongation of proportions in some ways. So you know, like if you're drawing a tall or a short character, you can change certain things to make them look tall or short, even if you're drawing them just like to fit a page, right? And so I used to get criticized. People would be like, oh, all your characters are so tall. It's like you don't know how to draw short people, Evan. Like what's wrong with you? You're so whatever. Like it's like every woman you draw is like 6 foot tall or 6 feet tall or whatever. It's like shit. I'm getting called out because I only learned how to draw one person. So I get it, man. If you're leaving your comfort zone, you don't really, you know, you're like trying to expand out into something that you're not used to drawing. It's tough, man. But that's the thing, is in the style of sort of like Hyrulean characters, they all kind of have a bit of a feminine, even the masculine manly men have a bit of a feminine sort of like feature to them, which is kind of like an intentional art direction thing, a dramatic flair. So you'd probably be fun. Looking forward to retirement. I got my first job. I know, man. I know. All right. Okay. Listen. Maybe that's okay aside from the face. Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's the problem is I would draw like super soft, you know, I'd learn how to draw like super soft anime like faces, but then just have them be on fucking jacked chicks. Everyone had to be unbelievably jacked, otherwise I didn't know what I was doing. So, it was not good, man. It was one of those things where it's like, I think as an artist, we like constantly, especially in the beginning, are catching ourselves, realizing we don't actually know how to draw something. We just know how to sort of represent it a little bit, but we don't actually understand the form of it. You know? Like not understanding what I'm drawing right now. If you don't understand the way that like a cravat tie sort of works, like knots, you know, if you're drawing like a knot and you don't understand how a knot works, you might just draw like some lines and shit. And then, you know, maybe that looks good at a distance, but when you're actually looking at details, you're like, that doesn't make sense to me, man. Right? A lot of it happens with stylization for eyes. This is why, you know, I always say to artists, never learn how to draw stylized. Always learn how to draw representationally. Because if you can't draw what's there, then you can't stylize it. If you don't know the forms, if you can't draw like a human face in sort of like a realistic way, not that like this is not real this is not realistic, this is a stylization, but I get accused from my anime friends being like, oh, you do such good realism. It's like, well, comparatively I see why you say that, but but it's like, you know, it is that thing where you have to study it, you know, whenever you're trying to figure something out new, how to draw different features for different type of characters. If you're used to drawing, you know, a stylization or a specific type of character or whatever, super jacked dudes or something, you actually have no idea how like the human eye is formed, then you can't change the stylization to make it more masculine or feminine. That was like a big problem for me when I was young. I run into it still sometimes where I'm like, I have no idea how to draw this thing. I just sort of like do it. I should really figure out how to fucking do it. How to do it properly. But that's part of the training arc, I guess, you know. It's part of the lifelong training arc. Or hopefully not lifelong. Hopefully you figured out at a certain point in time, you master all art, you max your stats out, and you just make the best art ever, forever. And no one can question your ability. Because you're the best artist that ever lived. In order to do that, I need to start drawing in Silver Point. Oh, I wasn't looked that up last stream. Wait. Shit, I forgot about that. I was gonna see if I could order one. So I can do like oxidized Silver Point sketches. So my sketches look really cool in like, you know, a couple 100 years or whatever. However long it takes to oxidize. I actually have no idea how long silver takes to oxidize. Probably pretty quick though, right? Most metals oxidize fast. Would I look like a chemist physics nerd? Come on, man. I barely can spell my own name. Can you break your dog? Alright, Mr. Taconis. What are these little shapes on his? Is that supposed to be something? Is this just the fucking, like, S? You know? Is that what this is? I forgot how to draw it. Maybe just little infinity loop thingies. Or maybe the family crest, I don't know. We'll do something vaguely representational of it and chill. I'm sure no one's paying attention too hard to it. Unless it's like a specific symbol in Aramon, or whatever the world's called, I forget. I wasn't paying attention, okay? The names, there's so many made up names and so many fantasy things. I say fully knowing that I like, you know, definitely add to that problem. I definitely don't help with all the silly made up Eldara names that I have. But it's like a really interesting topic, I think, is trying to figure out how to like name shit in fantasy to not be unrelatable. That's when you start having a lot more respect for Tolkien. Like, I feel like there's like an arc that a lot of people go through when it comes to fantasy that I think is kind of funny, where you go through thinking that Tolkien is like the greatest fantasy author ever, and then you learn a little bit more, and you realize you come to the realization that Tolkien was actually kind of shit, and he didn't know what he was talking about, and he wasn't really that good at all, just like kind of well loved for whatever reason, and you start like not liking Tolkien anymore. And then you like move through your Dunning-Kruger sort of like disillusionment of whatever, and you like come back around realizing Tolkien was actually a genius, and that you were just like a smarmy fucking punk for thinking you knew better than Papa Tolkien, and your like reverence comes back around. It's kind of funny like how that happens. And I think I never left the Tolkien reverence stage, but I definitely have more appreciation for him now that I've been doing stuff with like naming and languages and shit like that and reading Silmarillion. Pretty sure silver oxidizes faster than bronze, but slower than gold. I wonder if I can... Okay, hold on. I wonder if I can buy this anymore. Silver point. Drawing with silver point. Where... Silver point... Pen and paper... How do I buy it? Oh, wait, this isn't actually that expensive. Hold on. Silver point, pen, and material paper kit. Wait a minute. I can get this for like under $100. Is this real though? Is this proper silver point? It kind of looks like it actually. Yeah. Oh, it is actually. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. So I could actually get a silver point pen. Mineral paper accepts silver point without needing gesso, providing a convenient substitute for silver point drawings. Mineral paper. Okay, I want the real paper though, so... I actually want a real silver point pen. That's the other thing too. It's like an actual silver point. I don't want like the... Like, this is what I want. I want a real silver point. But these are probably, since that's pure silver or whatever, or a mostly pure alloy, that's probably pretty expensive for that. But this is how I want to do a bunch of sketching. Shit. Where the fuck do I buy one, though? And I wonder... Yeah, I do wonder how long it takes to oxidize. Well, I gotta save this page. This seems pretty cool. Okay. I'll look at that this weekend. Whatever. Sabine, thank you for the big microtransaction. Holy shit. That's a long time. To mean 100,000 channel points, please roll your D100 for your big microtransaction. What's up, yo? I have no clue what this is. Oh, silver point? So, you know when you look at old drawings? Like old, things like this. When you think of like old sketches, yeah, right here. You look at like old Da Vinci or Michelangelo Renaissance master sketches, all this shit. This is not pencil. This is not ink. This is actually silver. So when you take silver, which is a very soft metal, and you scratch it on the surface of a parchment coated with some sort of like calcium something mineral or whatever, the silver sort of the paper's abrasive enough that the silver actually sort of like rubs off, like wears off of the pen, the kind of the needle that you're using, and the residue on the paper has a like chemical reaction with it that kind of like darkens it or whatever, more or less. And over time, the sketch will begin to oxidize and turn brown. The paper or the parchment, which is like vellum or something, whatever you're using, will also begin to sort of like oxidize loosely. So the paper becomes yellower and the lines become like kind of redder or bronze or whatever. So when Da Vinci drew the Vitruvian Man and wrote his notes, his little Italian man notes about the Vitruvian Man, which is what this is, this was white paper and black, you know, like when you see silver point drawing, like this guy's doing the same kind of drawings, and this is what Da Vinci would have seen. So just like white paper with black, right there. So it looks like pencil. You'd think this is pencil if you're looking at it, but over time, the oxidization creates this old worn parchment effect. This is in part some of what I sort of go for in my sketch effect, right? Is the old sort of worn parchment with kind of the burnt, burnt edges and stuff. Like a lot of people think that if you look at things like the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you look at like sort of this old parchment kind of effect here, and you're trying to create it yourself, people will often burn the edges, right? To try and give it this like sort of worn old parchment look. But this blackening here, this isn't actually like burn marks or whatever. This is rot. This is literally this animal skin parchment rotting at the edges. So that's why you get this sort of like tarnished effect and this oxidization and whatever. And so if this was written in silver point instead of ink, this would be oxidized into sort of a brownish color, just like the Da Vinci's drawings. But it's kind of a cool, like, I don't know, ancient art thing no one ever does. So I kind of want to like do silver point sketching just for that, just for the respect to the old world, as it were. So need to preserve it then. Well, yeah, I mean, the oxidization though is kind of part of the effect and the fun though. So I don't know. Hasn't been a year since I found points racked up fast. Also have no idea what I did. I was curious. Oh, it doesn't do anything. The whole point is that it's a microtransaction. Yeah, that's the whole point of it. It's a microtransactions. So you roll a D100 and see what you get. How much microtransaction to add the silver point orange hue filter to a drawing? Asking for a friend. If you want me to add if you want me to oxidize a drawing for a sketch for you, Sabine, I will do that. I will give you an oxidized version of it, free of charge, just because of your appreciation for the ancient sketch ways. So, if you would like an oxidized piece or version of the next piece, legendary ancient parchment feel, I will happily just do that. Like, it's fine. There's no microtransactions for that. Only it's a hidden menu, secret menu thing you can request from the artist. Dude, I should have an EBA secret menu. Holy shit, I should have an EBA secret menu. Like code words you have to ask for in a sketch. In the sketch description. You know? Like a cryptographic puzzle. A ciphertext that you submit. I have to run the... Oh my god, yeah. Then you have to then take the image and get the... You get like a surface like fake commission, and then you get the real commission by running it through like Outguess or like one of those steganography programs or whatever. Oh my god. The Evan Blair Art ARG is yet to begin. You guys have no idea how serious it's going to be. Just wait. Yeah, theoretically though, I will say the Monka microtransaction for 1,000,000 points, Sabine, that does do something. It does gain you a Discord title, actually. The Discord title that you get if you redeem 1,000,000 channel points in this stream is Loser Simp. I think Thorkin, Dashtoad, Cobalt, a couple people have them. But they all regret it, actually, unfortunately. So, if you get it right, I get a discount or something? No, you get extra shit. Like extra versions of it, of the piece, you know? You don't get a discount, you get more for your coffee request. Ella has it, yep. Real commission is in the invisible ink and you have to hold it close to a fire to see. Basically. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's entirely the vibe I want to go for, so we'll do that for Elvish Bento.
What is Pokemon Day?
Yo, Steph, what's up, dude? Pokemon Day, Steph, is February 27th. And today was the 30th anniversary for Pocket Monster. Thank you for the 44 months, Steph. I appreciate that. So with it being the 30th anniversary of Pocket Monster, the franchise, they had a Pokemon Presents today where they announced some new projects. They announced Fire Red and Leaf Green coming to the Switch today, which was cool. They announced some Pokemon Go, Pokemon Champions, other Pokemon games. They also announced Pokemon Wind and Waves, the next mainline franchise for Pokemon Winds and Waves, including the starters for Pokemon Winds and Waves, including Pombon, Ella's now new favorite starter, even though she hasn't played the game. She's decided that she needs a Pombon and she's going to name them Yuna for her. She's apparently playing the fire starter. So I'm kind of feeling the grass type starter, the Angry Bird. I just like grumpy things. I don't know why. So I kind of like this. Like, this guy's trying to be sassy, and like after Sassy Meowth, I'm done with sassy Pokemon. But I like grumpy Pokemon, so I'm kind of considering doing the grass type starter, but I'm also sick and tired. Okay? Sick and tired of picking the grass type starters. Been like a solid 15 years me going grass type starters, and I'm done with it. So I might pick Pombon or the fucking Chameleon or whatever, or some shit. Trailer looked cool. Definitely excited for this one. Switch 2, 2027 release at some point in time. New models looked great for the characters. The overall world definitely looked good. Looked like a Switch 2 game. So all in all, pretty pleased with the announcements today. They announced anything else too? Oh, the new Pokopia game is coming out in a couple days, which is what is it? The 5th of March, I think. Right? Is that when Pokopia comes out? Or is it? It's not out yet already, is it? I don't think. Everyone wants to play Pokopia 1 together, so we'll get it. Are you gonna get 2 Switches? Or are you doing just one playthrough? Because we have a Switch 2 now for Ella. That is her, like, I'm sorry to hear you're stuck in a couch being pregnant for the next whatever months. So here's a Switch 2 to play Pokopia on. But I don't want to get a second one, though we didn't know you could play it together until we saw the trailer today. Switch 2 years ago, still have play in the OG one. Can you play Pokopia? Isn't it Switch 2 exclusive? I thought Switch 2 exclusive. Switch 2 exclusive, however, you can play it on a Switch 1 by using the game share feature with a friend who owns the game on a Switch 2. Oh, what? I don't know how that works. I don't think that's a thing. But I think it is Switch 2 exclusive. But I don't know. I don't know how game share works. Is this from official Nintendo? Game share feature where a Switch 2 user streams the game to your Switch 1. Oh, I see. So I have no idea how that works. I've never tried it. I hope it works, because that would be great, because I would love to play with Ella. I definitely do not want to buy a second Switch. That's a thing that I don't want to do, because they were expensive. So, you know, we shall we shall see. I probably won't buy a Switch 2, because it's like we already have one, right? I wouldn't buy a Switch 2 until Wind and Waves come out. My rule for buying new consoles is that I will only buy a new console when either enough exclusives are out for it that I like can't resist it anymore, or when a like limited edition version of the console comes out and I like want that limited edition version. So I'm really hoping there's a Wind and Waves Switch 2 that comes out that I can get my hand on, like a special edition of the console. But likely not, because they don't do that shit anymore for some reason. So you'll just have to buy a regular Switch 2. I ended up buying just a regular Switch. Or no, we bought the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Switch. That's right. I forgot. I figured what you want to have for your secret menu options and how to translate your own version of Thieves Can't. Artist Can't? Damn. Paints Can? Okay, yeah. Okay, I see. You're right. I need to have that secret menu available on there in Artist Can't. I sad there haven't got anything for Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary. Yeah, I mean, the day came and went like last week, didn't it? And there was nothing about it. I was surprised. I understand they're trying to make like a big deal about Pokemon. Maybe they didn't want to like overshadow it with like some Zelda things, or they probably don't want the comparison. Like, oh, for you know, Pokemon 30th we got all this, but for Zelda 40th we didn't get. You know, I could see Nintendo nerds and gamers whining about that shit. Maybe it's better off to just have nothing than to have something that's like disappointing. So I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo's really doing or thinking about that. I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, so I'm not like butthurt about it or whatever. I like Zelda, but you know, I haven't played any of the new Zelda games. I haven't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, so can I really say that I'm, you know, anxiously awaiting a new Zelda game? Not really. I tried to give Breath of the Wild a real good shot. I tried, man, and I just couldn't get into it. I think it was the timing. You know, you play a game that you're not feeling at the wrong time, then you kind of screwed. It's why I refuse to play Cyberpunk right now. I know I'm not feeling it, and I know if I try forcing it, and I try forcing Cyberpunk, that I'll hate it. But I know that if I wait until I want to play Cyberpunk, it'll be like one of my favorite games of all time. You know? And so I've been waiting for years for Breath of the Wild. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I was like, shit. I waited too long. So I don't know. I can't really complain about not getting these Zelda things if I'm not like personally invested, you know? Bought a Switch 2 for the GameCube emulation. I'm heartbroken because camera swing in Wind Waker is reversed. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. I haven't played since Twilight Princess, except a couple of the Ocarina of Time remasters. I never played Twilight. Actually, it's a good point. I didn't play Twilight Princess either. I didn't play. So I don't know the last Zelda games that I played. Actually, I'm curious. What is the last Zelda game I played? Zelda games in order. Zelda games in release order. Let's see what we got. Every Zelda game released in chronological order. What is the last sort of like real Zelda game I played? Give me an image, not a fucking list. Okay. Zelda timeline. Is this it? Is this a release game timeline or a narrative timeline? This is a narrative timeline. Okay, I don't want a fucking narrative timeline. I want a... Oh, I guess I have to say release order. Okay, perfect. Here we go. So, obviously original Zelda games, and then Link to the Past, Four Swords, Link's Awakening, all that shit. Then I played through... Okay, so I didn't realize this, that so played through these little things. So Wind Waker definitely played through. Okay, after Wind Waker, I didn't play Minish Cap. I didn't play Twilight Princess. Didn't play Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. Were these real Zelda games? Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, or were these like fucking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? I don't remember. Never played through Skyward Sword. I tried to. Wait, is this seriously the last Zelda game that I actually really played through was fucking Wind Waker? Are you kidding me? in 2003 or whatever. Never mind. I don't think I'm a Zelda fan. I think I'm favorable on the franchise, but I don't think I can say I'm a Zelda fan. We bought a Wii and a Wii U or whatever it was. We bought the Legend of Zelda Wii U, the black one, for playing through Skyward Sword. But Ella played it, and I just kind of like checked out on it. I just like wasn't watching her play it. I was certain I'd play like a 3DS game or something of Zelda, one of the Zelda games, but I don't think I did. Wow, dude. Yeah, so Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I've never... Okay, all right, I guess I'm not a Zelda fan. Never mind. I retract my previous statements of favoritism for Zelda. I guess I fucking hate the franchise, apparently. I like that it exists, you know? I like... enjoy that it's a thing. I'm pleased whenever I see Zelda games release or come out or whatever, but apparently I just don't like them for some reason, so all right. Bought a Switch, hated the amount of subscriptions, sold it and bought a new GPU. There you go. A GPU will never let you down. That's right. Always buy new GPUs. I actually like my Switch the most out of all the consoles, I think. I don't really have, like, I don't even have a PS5. I don't even own a PS5, man. I don't have a PS5. I don't have a new Xbox. The newest console I had was the Switch. Then after that, the newest console I had was the Switch 2. I'm just like out of the console game apparently, and I want to get back in because there's like a couple of games that I want to play, and I've decided that like with us having a baby, we're gonna have me playing games on my computer with my headphones on in my own little world is not something I'm gonna be able to do as much, right? And I'm refusing to lose my personality like a lot of fucking new parents do, where they like become parents and they just decide they don't like have time for anything anymore. That's like that's some weak shit if you ask me. And I'm sorry, because a lot of parents are like, oh, you won't, you know, you think you can do better than me? Yeah, I do. Fuck you. So I'm like, you know, but I do recognize that it's going to be hard in the early years for me to put my headset on and play a game on my own world for like, you know, I can do it a couple times a week, but I can't do that nightly anymore probably. So Ella and I are going to try and create like a tradition of like gaming nights with the little guy as he's growing up, you know, so that like we're all sitting on the couch just playing video games together. That means I have to like get back into console games a little bit. So we're thinking about buying either a PlayStation or an Xbox this year. Maybe. But the problem is I kind of don't really want either. And I think maybe we'll just go with the Switch 2, you know? Because like Switch 2, I can play through Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and stuff, you know? Play Link Between Worlds. I feel like it's the tightest Zelda game. Link Between Worlds was 3DS, right? I own it. Like I bought it. I just never, you know what, honestly, so Avail, you know what I'm actually doing right now that I'm enjoying? I am playing through Link's Awakening on my Switch on the like the console emulator thing. And I'm enjoying going back and playing older Zelda games. But I do have the itch for like I keep, every time I go to the mall or wherever, I walk by the EB and I see the Switch 2 Tears of the Kingdom or whatever it is. Like, it's so offensive because the video game is so expensive. Tears of the Kingdom in Canada is $115. And I have a really hard time wanting to spend $115 on a new game. Now, I do understand this is the way of the future. Games are more expensive. I get it. I'm not going to be a game price whiner out here, all right? Okay? But I can't do that, honestly, right now. For some reason, it just bothers me because it's not a new game. It's a Switch 1 game, like ported to Switch 2. Like if it was $115 for the brand new Switch 2 exclusive Giga Zelda game, like World's Greatest Zelda, sure. But the fact that it's a Switch 2 version of a Switch 1 game, I'm like, oh, come on, man. I can't do that shit. So I'm playing the old ones, but I do have the itch to play through it, especially because the art like looks so beautiful, and I really love to, you know, dive into the the world a little bit. So that's why I like watching streamers play it, is because I get to see the game and then I don't have to actually fucking play it and buy it and shit. So what games are required reading for your kid? Required reading for baby Evan is going to be I'm not going to go super vintage, but I want to start him on like Game Boy, NES, SNES kind of era, and I want him to have a sense of progression in games so that he can appreciate, like, when you're 5, you don't care if the game's in like we all played N64 games and shit and SNES games when we were growing up and whatever, and we weren't mad about it, or GameCube, whatever, however old you were. So I don't want him to be like, I won't want him to be so old. I want to have an appreciation for retro games. I don't want him to be a hype sort of like kid that only wants to play the cool game that's the new thing. I want him to have an appreciation for games as art, right? So I want him to understand and have a really good affection and affinity with like the platformers, you know, so like things, and I think Nintendo's great for this, you know, the Marios, the Donkey Kongs, like Super Mario Galaxy, Sunshine, these kind of games, World, these are all great games I think to play with baby, with little guy growing up too. Exploration games. But I think that when he's older, I really want to take him through you know, some of the formative like I really want to like see if he gets into like Pokemon, like the original stuff, and like tries to move through generations. I want to see if he can play through like Diablo, games like that he can like sit on my lap and we can play at the computer together kind of thing, you know. So, but I don't know. Required reading, that's tough. Like I think maybe a lot of it will be just like Ella and I playing games with him there rather than him having to play through it, you know. So I don't know if there's like a good list out there for good nerds or whatever. So Love Link's Awakening is my favorite 2D Zelda. I think it's pretty good, right? Introduced games to my kids in order, had the SNES set up for them when they were little kids, and once they beat those games, moved to N64, etc. Now they're in their teens, and we share all those references and experiences from childhood. And see, that's great. I love that idea. Like I have, I don't have an SNES, but I do have, I have the minis. So I have the mini console for the PlayStation, the SNES. Like I have all of these. And I don't know what games they have on them. I think they have a decent amount. Yeah, like Super Mario World, Zelda, Kart, whatever, Star Fox and shit like that. So I don't like this. What I would maybe do instead of busting the mini out is I would consider buying the controllers that you can get from the Switch Online fucking subscription, whatever, fuck you service thing. Give us more money. Where you can play the SNES, the GameCube, those kind of games and whatnot. And I like the idea of doing the progression, you know? So I would start with some SNES games too. Wait, what do you mean ours? Are we planning? I feel like it's going to be an artist 1,000%. What, my kid? I don't know, man, because like his mom is going to be like my kid's mother is going to be probably one of the most interesting and brilliant people he will ever meet. Ella is a engineer in multi sort of like dimensions, and she just like makes things. She's a very adept software engineer. She's like has all the mechanical stuff. She like just creates things from the process of like design all the way to it being like a thing, a finished product or whatever it is. And I feel like that kind of like Ella and my brother are very similar like that. My brother is also an engineer. And they have the kind of just like creative like ability to just do shit. I don't know how to explain it. Just like make the world happen. I do that with ideas, and my brother and Ella do that with like real shit. So he could also be something kind of mechanical like that, or more technical. I don't know. If he's an artist, I'll fucking he's gonna just smack that out of him and be like, no, you fucking aren't gonna be an artist. You go, you get to choose between doctor, lawyer, or finance crypto bro. I'm kidding. I don't know, man. We'll see. Ella really wants to be a hockey mom. She's like, bro, what if he wants to be a hockey player? What if we have a little hockey player? She's so excited about that. She wants to be a hockey mom so bad. She wants to do she's fine with the whole thing too. That'd be pretty cool if he's an artist. It would be really, really satisfying to have like to raise an artist and be able to like teach him how to properly be an artist. I think being like you want a real hot take from me. I think being an artist, the success rate of being an artist is an absolute one-shot slingshot guarantee 100% if you're not lazy. If you choose it to be. The bar you have to jump over to be a professional artist, I think, is on the fucking ground, and most artist aspirants are Minecraft fans. So they get that fucking shovel out. Crypto bro, oh yeah, dude. If I can have like if my son could be like a crypto bro, trying to like, you know, pawn off like NFTs and shit, and then get in trouble with the law for like some sort of large sort of scam, like some like the music festival scam or something like that, that'd be a story, bro. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be funny. Yeah, have like a neck tat or some shit. That's my boy. That's my boy. Ours and my wife and I, we are a bit past the planning stage at this point. Really? Oh shit, dude. Fuck yeah. That's dope, man. Congratulations. Anniversary would be my kids growing to be into crypto. Bro. Come on. Think about all the... Okay. All right. Chris, you have to choose. Crypto bro. Okay. Be tough. You just choose between crypto bro, content creator slash influencer, or Yu-Gi-Oh player. Man, Sophie's choice. Am I right? Oh my god. Like, the worst fear is he comes home from school one day. He's like, Dad, I got some cards from Jamie. And you're like, oh, you got some cards? What'd you get, like a Psyduck or something? Nah, I got a Gaia the Fierce Knight. What? We're pulling you out of school, son. You're going to Catholic school now from now on. I'll not raise a filthy fucking Japanese card game player, because, you know, the thing is, they start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And where does it end? Where does it end? I'll tell you. It ends with Card Fight Vanguard. Even though it doesn't. But Evan, you just said it ends with Card Fight Vanguard. What do you mean? What does fucking make sense, Evan? I say it ends with Card Fight Vanguard because that's where you cut them off. That's where you don't see them anymore. You don't see the pit that they go down to. You know where it actually ends if your kid starts with Yu-Gi-Oh? You think it ended with Card Fight Vanguard when you cut them off. You know where it ends? I'll show you. I don't know if it's gonna be in trouble on stream. If this is gonna be a thing where I show like if this is gonna get me in trouble for self-harm or whatever, this is where it ends. This is where it ends, right here. You don't see this part because you see the Yu-Gi-Oh, you get concerned, and then what do? As soon as it progresses to Vanguard, you disown them. And so you don't know that 5 years after the last time you had contact with your son, he's subscribed to 18 VTubers Twitch channels. He has lost all of his life savings on Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Musume. And he's at the game store on a Thursday afternoon at 1:30. You know, creating the same level of scent with his two friends that you would expect from an entire convention, playing Vice Schwarzi. So you think that Yu-Gi-Oh is harmless. You think that that first pack isn't a problem. Time to think again. Think again. Your son is not only spending his life savings on a $200,000 Weiss Schwartz promo, he's also simultaneously in the Epstein files for buying this card. Simultaneously. Like, you can buy a $200,000 card, and that's a problem. But if your $200,000 card is like a fucking like electric rodent, that's fine. You're like, whatever, dude. If your $200,000 card is a fucking flower, apparently we're not going to judge. If it's a fucking dragon, okay, dude. But as soon as you start spending money on $200,000 Weiss Schwartz cards, now you're going straight to jail. And there's nothing any of us can do for someone at this point in time. Like, it's just over. It's over for you. God damn. I don't want to be so graphic today, okay? I don't want to show you guys things that maybe you won't be able to forget now, but I think that Weiss Schwartz awareness is a necessary topic. What's up, Salesian? What's going on? Played Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid and I didn't turn out like that. Are you sure? Are you sure, Salesian? Because what is the one thing worse than all of that I just described, Salesian? What is the one thing, the one fate for your child that could be worse as a Yu-Gi-Oh player? You guys can't see Salesian's messages because she's typing in YouTube chat. But Salesian, the one fate that is worse than being a Weiss Schwartz player? That's right, a cosplayer. So, you know, I just... Boy, we could, man, holy, we could have. Oh, fuck. All right. Get this shit out of here. I have a whole bunch of Weiss Schwartz cards, actually. Oh, you are once you know the struggles? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Couldn't imagine a worse one. Why are they so expensive? I don't know, man. Turning into a Force of Will furry. Oh god, is Force of Will still even make cards? Look, we did, like, so years ago I did on stream, maybe not years ago, maybe a year or so ago, I did the game store, what was that? Because for years I worked at a game store, but it was like the game store card player smell tier list. It might change now, but like at the top it was something like type 2 MTG. Like your type 2 MTG, which are like competitive players. These are dudes that go to like Grand Prix and like make money off the game. They're all just like dudes in finance. They're all fine. They actually don't smell as bad as you think. Below them was something like regular, like casual MTG. One step down was, this might have changed now, but one step down was the Pokemon crowd. Star Wars wasn't a game back then. Then down below that was Yu-Gi-Oh! And then down below that was EDH, or MTG EDH, or as you guys call it now, Commander. Below that was Vanguard / Force of Will, because they were all the same dudes. And then below that at the very bottom was Weiss Shorts. So I don't know where, like, now modern Pokemon might be different. Maybe this list has changed a little bit, but also this doesn't exist anymore because they don't have actual competitive Magic the Gathering anymore. So it's just the casual Magic, but actually people don't play casual Magic anymore. They only play EDH. So EDH is probably lifted up slightly by the people, by the casual MTG players now in it. I don't know. Like, we'd have to go to a card store for a good like week to make a new like smell tier list or smell ranking for card store gamers. But I'm sure, like, I'm sure it's not too far. So if I ever had such a body odor, I would perish. I know, dude. It was tough. The stereotypes are real, Salesian. They're unfortunately real. I wish I could say it was a joke. It's just a meme. We just got jokes. We're just kidding. Come on, man. All the card store employees and customers, they all showered every day. I wish I could say it, dude. But you know what I will say? On that grid or that ranking, I will say there is a line of no return, which is the BlizzCon line. If your card game's player base smells worse than BlizzCon's, there's no hope for coming back. And around EDH players is where it starts, or where it like kind of matches up. So all of the Yu-Gi-Oh, Cardfight Vanguard, White Shorts players, that entire thing was just another level of the dark abyss. Like, you knew when they were playing in the back room without even knowing they had come into the store. You knew they were in the store without seeing them. Damn. Damn, it's tough out there, man. I wonder what D&D players fit into that now. I've been going to a lot of conventions this year, so we'll see. We'll see what GameCon is like, all right? Weirdly, I feel like all the 40k players are pretty well showered. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe because the money required to play 40k requires you actually have a real job, which means that you have to fit into society in a like a somewhat reasonable way. Maybe that's what it is. So maybe if you want your like player base to not smell atrociously, you just have to like pay gate them. You just have to lock them out by making it arbitrarily expensive, like some fucking Kourtney Kardashian makeup or some shit. You know, you take like a $30 plastic mini and just charge $300 for it because whatever. Like, you know, you could buy like Kourtney's fucking makeup, the same shit from ColourPop, for a 10th the price. Maybe not 10th, maybe like a 6th the price. Okay, but you like lock out the, you know, it's the same card game, it's the same game objectively, but if we just brand it as the higher end version, then that just, you know, hey, we get a reputation for having a decent smelling player base. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's probably a bad idea. Pokemon's going so much down because the scalpers, you know, those smell like toilet water from 3 years ago. Yeah, honestly, Pokemon, I really liked Pokemon, but the scalping is just too much, man. It's just too much. You know, the last Pokemon product that I bought was something that I got from Costco because we were there and we saw it and I was like, oh cool, I really want to see what the new cards look like. So we bought this like $70 pack from Costco. And I was just curious in the car. I was like, what is this from the scalping? What is it? So I went on eBay, I looked it up, and it was like $180. Oh, my sakes. You know, it's like I wasn't gonna buy like can you even buy? How much is it to buy a box of like new Pokemon cards? Like, is this seriously $20 a pack? An Elite Trainer box has 8 boosters in it or something, right? And it's $170? Like, is this right? So, oh, it's French. No one wants French cards. Yeah, is it just like straight up $10 a booster pack now for fucking whatever the new like in print, no like allocated, no limit, open fucking season printing cards are? It's just straight $10 a pack. Can you believe that anyone complained that my card packs were $15? Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that one guy in stream one day complained that the Realms of Eldara card packs were $15? You can believe they complained about it? Dude. Are Canadian prices just way worse than American? I don't know, actually. I think they are, because I think Canadian distribution is bad. But if we go to like TCG Player or some shit like that, which is basically the only card store left in the US. And we go Pokemon, Phantasmal Flames, shop packs. Yeah, I mean like market price is $7.50 US, that's about 10 Canadian. Fatigue is not a question or a reasonable price for the Eldar packs. Well, the thing is, yeah, they are a lot of work. That like fulfilling. I'm almost done. I've almost sent out all the packs to everybody. Making packs and fulfill. It's just we got fucked up because of our carpets. Right, I'm behind a week now, but packaging all those by hand, cutting every card by hand, doing all the sketch cards by hand and everything, made me realize that I basically just did it for the passion of it, which is all I cared about, and I'm happy with that, you know. But holy fuck, if I do a second edition in a year or two, I might have to bump them up a little bit. So it might be $20 a pack, to be honest. But yeah, look at that fucking mass-produced like booster pack. Market price is $10 Canadian. The finest part of TCGs is the most exhausting thing. Well, so Chris, I've told this story, and you'd remember this, but I tell the story online when I was creating my Eldar trading cards. Okay, when I was like doing this, let me show you. The Realms of Eldar trading cards, I wanted it to be like old card games were. Okay, the way when I was working at the card store, when you and I were working together, because these packs, the way old card packs go is they were not gambling, and I've definitively found the argument for this. So back in the day, I tell a story occasionally that when I was working at Centerbox and we were doing like Ravnica-ish releases, you could buy a box of Ravnica for $120 Canadian, $100 US, 36 packs. You could open it, and the trade-in value of the cards you got in there that were up above a certain point were basically the health of the set. So some sets were really good. Return to Ravnica was insane. With all the Shocklands and everything, you could basically buy a box of cards, open it up, get all the places of commons and uncommons you wanted, get a couple of great rares that you wanted to keep, maybe your cool foil, and then you could trade in all the cards you didn't want to the store. We would buy them and give you store credit, and you would get like maybe like $100 back in store credit. So you could pay $20, roll another box. It was amazing. That Christmas season that the Ravnica set was Return Ravnica was in stock, people were buying boxes. We were selling like 30, 50, 100 boxes a day on the weekends. It was crazy. It was such a good set. And we were buying cards and people were buying the singles, whatever. It was insane. And so it used to be a question of the random mechanic was what cool thing did you get in your pack? And the reason why it changed to gambling is the question changed to not what cool thing did you get in your pack, but did you get anything cool in your pack? Because now if you buy a box of Pokemon for $300, everything's worth nothing unless it is one of the cards that's worth everything. So you can't buy a box of Pokemon cards for $300 and trade in the rares that you didn't want and get like $300 or like $200 back to go to the next one. The crisis in Magic the Gathering happened during Theros and Born of the Gods, where the return on a Born of the Gods box was around $50. It was like, you mean if I buy a box for $120 and I trade in the cards I don't need, I could only get like $50 back towards my next box? This is ridiculous. What a ripoff. That was like the bottom, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is so bad for Theros. And now you buy a box of cards for $300, $600, whatever dollars. You can't trade them in for anything. It's literally all garbage. Unless you get the one pristine fuck you card. Okay? And now, with grading being a thing, it is, did you get the $700 card? Oh, great. Did it grade PSA 10? Congratulations, you just made $10,000. Oh, it graded 9? Sorry, your 1 in 500 booster pack card still only worth $700. And you had to buy, what, 40 boxes to get it at $300 each? So, for the Eldara cards, the reason why they're all numbered and why they're limited, why I treat them as fine art prints, is because I wanted the question to be when I opened a pack of cards, I wanted to be the question of what cool thing did I get? And that's the random mechanic, is the question of what, not if. And that's the fucking problem with trading card games today. Or trading cards in general. Sports cards the same way. You know, you buy a box of the biggest box of hockey cards comes with like 5 cards in it, and it's $2,000. The best.
We got a 10.
There you go. The best box of cards you can get is this fucking thing. Oh, sorry, $5,000. Wait, no, $1,500, and it's got like 5 cards in it or whatever, and they're all really cool cards. You know, they're all like signed or jersey or autograph or whatever. But whether you get cards that you could trade back into the game to the sports card store, maybe you get cards that you could trade in for $100 and you spent $1,500. So it is really, in a lot of modern trading cards, it is unfortunately a gambling market because of that. And it really fucking sucks. And I hope that companies like Legend Story Studios are able to turn that around. You know? Which one has a dragon and I'll buy that one? You buy the pack with the dragon in it? Okay, well, they probably all have dragons at this point, so, you know. Some shit like that. What's up, Conk? I haven't talked about this before, but it keeps getting truer and truer every time. Well, I'm bringing it up again because Christofolo in chat is a friend of mine that I used to work with at the game store, so he has intimate knowledge with this problem that I complain about all the time. So, remember valuing a bunch of older Pokemon cards, and the market was so messed up with, in my opinions, because of them, they were only worth pennies. Yeah, it's it's an interesting topic. I think it's one half is the amount of money you can make now, and like, you know, grading companies and stuff, corruption. There's a whole drama thing inside of it. It's also influencer culture, and it's also a downturn economy. As economics go like plummet, gambling goes up, and that's what happens. And right now, a lot of people are gambling on, you know, cardboard. Because they also watch, like, it's algorithmic. So the thing is, if you scroll down your YouTube feed and you search for like Pokemon or whatever, you see 10 videos of someone getting like a $1,000 card, a $500 card, a $6,500 card graded PSA 10, $200,000 card or whatever, right? And so you see all this money because someone like has a business where they will get people to buy cards, then the person who runs the business will open them. Then they'll clip the highlights. Then they'll take the highlights, they'll submit them to the algorithm, and the algorithm will then feed it to you as the most interesting videos. And so your experience of the videos of Pokemon is you think that everyone is getting these massive hits. And so all you need to do, man, all you need to do is you need to open a box and you'll also get a $3,000 card. Not realizing that there's an entire pipeline of things going on here to make you think that this is like more interesting and happens in a better way. And so you then make the poor decision to start gambling your money on whatever, because you also want to be the next guy that hit the $3,000 thing. And it sucks, man. It sucks, because then it takes away the value of the game, right? It takes away the value of the cards. It takes away the long-term value of it all, because at a certain point in time, the bubble will pop. People will realize that it sucks, and they're not quite there yet, but they're almost starting to. Does that make sense? You can't say like the bubble's beginning to pop. I think the bubble is at critical mass, and it will soon begin to wobble a little bit. But that's just the problem with the entire pipeline, the loop or whatever. And there's no getting around it until a company says like, no, we're gonna provide a long-term, we're gonna provide a long-term value or something to the cards, and we're gonna not oversell, we're gonna not overhype, we're gonna not whatever. The grading companies, all this shit. It's just like what the long-term value health of Wizard of the Coast for Magic the Gathering would have been continuation of the competitive scene, and not just moving into the collectability of it, because it's just not a future, unfortunately, in that, not for the long-term value of the game. So see, remember that you get at least one foil or legendary something in each pack you opened when we were kids. You did, but the difference is, though, Salesian, is you still do. It's just now, if you look at like here's the difference. Basically, base set Pokemon odds were you basically got a holo. Base set in 1999, you got a holo. Was 1 in 3 packs. So you had a 30% chance to get a holo, right? And of that, there was only like what, 20 holos, so, or something like that. So you had like a 1 in 20 chance to get a Charizard. You had like a, of that, you had like a, maybe of getting a good holo was like a 50-50 roll for like a good holo Pokemon card. And so that's like, these are pretty good values. You buy a couple of packs, you'll get something really cool. If you look at new Pokemon rarity odds, so in 2025, it looks like you get an EX, which has the cool art, is 1 in 5. And EX doesn't even, it's worthless, right? You get EX cards and they're like $3, at the most. To hit the point where you get like maybe like a good card would probably be the ultra rare or maybe the illustration. So the illustration rares are 1 in 12. And then the ultra rares, the full arts, are 1 in 16. So we're already at the odds now far beyond getting, like, you had a better chance of getting any holo in 1999 than you do in even getting a worthless holo today. And then to get the good card, the special rare, the SIR, special illustration rare, I think it's higher than this, but this says it's about 1 in 100. Or that's like, what, 1 in 4 boxes or so, which is like a case hit. They call that in the sports card world. So that's the problem, is now, and then also of SIRs, there's like maybe like what, like 3 or 5 of them or something like that. Like maybe there's like 3 in each set. And so then, so if you get the 1 in 100, you now roll the dice to get the 1 in 3 chance to get the good one. So like, what are the odds of getting a Charizard in 1999 versus to get the best SIR in 2025? And so that's when it becomes gambling, is because even if you get the one, like if you got the 1 in 3 holo, your holo in 1999 was still worse than it was still cool. There was no holo in the base set that wasn't at least a little desirable, right? But now 1 in 5 gets you a worthless EX card. This doesn't even start. The illustrator cards are where it starts. So basically, to get a rare, to get a holo rare now, it's a 1 in 12. Ah! Come on, man. You get, yeah, a god pack, an SIR full pack is like 1 in 1,000, something like that. Yeah. And then what's the gold one or whatever? There's like a special gold one where it's like 1 in like a couple hundred or something like that. Oh, does this have the actual stats on it? No. Well, anyway, that's the trading card world now. So, Realm Veldara cards, hey? Oh, man. The entire reason I did the Realms Veldara cards was just a passion project, because I'm sitting here shooting on trading cards because in the modern trading card scene, it's because I love them. And I worked at a card store for years, and I wanted to start, like, I had a life dream, and I still kind of do, of starting a game store. I always wanted to run a game store, not like be in the like the intimate day-to-day operations of a game store. I don't want to do that shit anymore. I did that shit, never want to do it again. But I really wanted to have the money to be able to like buy a game store and like basically LARP it and like run it, and for a net zero, like no profit game store, basically, where I just keep investing money back into it and make it really cool and fun and do all the things that I wanted to do at the game store that I was working at that I couldn't because obviously whatever, you know. And then have somebody else manage the day-to-day and run employees and all that shit, run as a manager, but just like own a game store and be able to like do cool stuff for it. But now with the scalping culture and trading cards, I just don't know if I'd want to. It's like you do a release for something, and then you have like sweaty scalpers coming in to buy everything out at, you know, lining up at fucking 6 a.m. or some shit. The day before. I don't know, dog. It's a bit much for me, right? A friend of mine got into Magic specifically for the finance part, trying to buy collections and flip them, and hearing about that makes me wish I never got into Magic. Yeah, the amount of time and effort you have to put into that, to basically running your own like side hustle card store, is just so unbelievably brutal. The amount of time, man, oh my god. Like, I do remember I did pretty well for myself buying and selling cards and stuff like that, because we you know, we knew the market. So if you knew the market, then you could buy cards sort of like the rule was you never screwed your own store, basically. You never, like, you know, bought something at a loss from your store and then sold it when you know it's going to get banned. Like, you never did that to yourself. But if you knew the way markets were going, you go online, buy some cards, and then, you know, sell them at a GP or whatever, like speculating on cards. You're never you're never shorting cards, but you could speculate on cards. So you're like, you know, you could say, I'd say to the manager sometimes, I'd be like, hey man, I think this card's gonna go up. I kind of want to spec on it. I think it's gonna go up a lot. So we have 10. They're $10 each. How many can I buy? And he'd be like, nah, they don't sell very much. You can buy 8 as long as we have like 2 or 3 left. Like, that's fine. So I'd be like, great, man. I'd buy 8 of them. And then I'd have them. They'd go up to like $30. And I'm like, neat, zing, great. I'd go to another game store in the city and I'd sell them to the game store for $25 in store credit and buy something cool then that I would, you know, that's how you did it. If you knew the knowledge of this game stores, you knew the knowledge of the cards and you use it for like, you know, doing that, then you could, it was great. But without having the intimate knowledge of day-to-day, having to know prices for my regular job at the card store, doing it as a side hustle or whatever would absolutely just make me want to throw myself out of a fucking window. You know, I've always wanted to collect MTG cards. It's overwhelming though. I would say if you want to collect Magic the Gathering cards, Steph, I have a collection challenge for you. If you want to collect Magic the Gathering cards because you think they're cool, what I would do, because I know you, because you're my friend, and I love you dearly, for you, I'd recommend you start a binder of dragons. And you try and collect a master set, one of every single dragon card in print. You'll notice that it's actually not that expensive because a lot of the expensive cards are, you know, competitive, whatever. If you like the art for Magic, that's what I did when I was working the game store. I had a binder of dragons. And like, there's a set called Scourge, which is basically like the dragons set for Magic the Gathering. You could also do a master set of Scourge. You scroll down to the red category in Scourge. Oh my God, dude. Just fucking buckle up. Where do we go? We got Decree of Annihilation, Dragon Mage, Dragon Tyrant, Dragon Breath, Dragon Speaker Shaman, Dragon Storm. We got Form of the Dragon. Holy, where's the blue card? The fucking, whatever. Torrent of Fire. Dude, old Magic dragons are the shit. The old Magic fantasy arts. Bladewing the Risen. Holy God, man. You know? Collecting old dragons in Magic the Gathering wouldn't be obsessively expensive. You're not spending hundreds of dollars per card. You would if you wanted to get foils. Like, if you wanted to get a graded, like, foil dragon tyrant. Damn it. I memed by looking up fucking Weiss Schwartz on eBay like an hour ago, and now eBay thinks that I want to buy FBI watch list cards now. Like a foil dragon tyrant is $35 Canadian. And it's the highest form of this card's printing. There's no alt art, fuck you version of whatever. Like, dude. Make a binder, Steph, of all the coolest dragon artworks. And if you want to do the new stuff too, like the Baldur's Gate dragons, the new Baldur's Gate dragons, the full art cards, like, this is a sick card. It's also only $3 for the foil borderless, you know, Icing Death Frost Tyrant, because it's not insanely playable. So if you want to collect Magic the Gathering, Magic is unironically maybe okay. We can ignore the pre-made, the fan-made cards, okay? Fucking Smothering Tide. If you want to collect Magic the Gathering, or if you want to collect a card game, collect Magic the Gathering for the thing that you want to collect in Magic the Gathering, and you'll have the best time. Because you can get, like, you know, you can get, like, really cool collections of art cards that are, like, really dope without having to buy the coolest fucking Pokemon card that's $4,500 for, you know, whatever. You want to go to card convention? Conventions, I'd say, are a bit sus. Card conventions are a bit spicy because the thing about card conventions is that you're going to meet a lot of sleazy vendors. And I'd say card conventions are a place where people say you can find really great values and really great deals. The thing that I would warn people who've never been to that sort of side of things before to know is that you cannot trust a vendor at a card convention that doesn't have a store behind them as much as you could trust a store, because the reputation requirement isn't there. So if you get a bad reputation in a city at a card show, you just rebrand. You just go to a different city. You do whatever, you know? As a store, if you get a bad reputation for screwing people over, your store is fucked. So if you know how to kind of avoid the scams, the sleazy whatever, the condition dudes, all that shit, you can avoid that. You can find some insanely good deals at card conventions. But you can also fall into traps. So it's kind of a high risk, high reward thing, but they're fun. I mean, if you do a little bit of research on what you're looking for specifically, and you kind of know the thing you're going for, the thing that you want very like well, then you can have like just have a great time at conventions and make a lot of great purchases, and it's fun. I think it's really fun, but you have to kind of know how to avoid the scams, and they are present at card shows like they never been before. So want something better than a binder though, which is why I never started. I need a card border or something, or board or something. A card board, like like a slab or something, maybe like you know, like a card in a piece of plastic or whatever, kind of, you know, like these are cool. Hey. Hey, right? Well, so I have the same issues with the Eldar cards I have. They're protected and I never get to see them. Well, so what you can do is you can get like, oh wait, I might have them here because I think this is Ella's desk. This is what Ella does. So Ella displays her cards when, like, her desk is still fucked right now, but Ella puts them in little little either top loaders or like protective, like one touches, magnetic things, and puts them on little frames. You can also get them in like a card frame from Michaels. I used to have these, but yeah, I used to actually, maybe I should get one of these for Eldar cards. But you can get them, they go on your wall, and they're like your wall collection. Like no, seriously, these are dope. This is, I think, maybe almost exactly what you wanted, but yeah, like go to, like, you guys have Michaels in the US, right? Am I having a Canadian moment? Is Michaels a Canadian only store? I thought it was American as well. Yes and no. Okay, well, whatever Michael's equivalent, like people do this with their cards. They display them in like on the wall or whatever. These are really cool. You can like DIY the frame yourself. You know, you can get it custom made for shit. You can get one that you can put on like a display board or whatever. Like, I actually didn't know they had one that was just like 5 cards across. I might actually get one of these for Ella's desk for some of the cards. But another way of doing it is so like here is okay. So grading cards is a touchy subject. Grading cards used to be something that was for insurance and collectability purposes. So if you were to buy a card from our store when I was working there, and it was a $10 card in near mint, if it was a played card and was kind of scuffed up, we'd mark it as SP and charge $9 for it. So if you didn't care as a scratch or 2 on it, it'd be an SP card, $9. But that grading like scale is subjective. Now you have like, if you have 100 game store nerds, they will, like employees, they will all agree probably 95% of the time on which cards are which, right? But when you get to the point where you have a card where it's a $5,000 card and the SP is a $4,000 card, well, now that subjectivity needs to be a little more, you know, like dialed in, right? That's where grading companies came out. So grading companies would assign a grade to the card, 7, 8, 9, 10, depending on whatever. And this worked. It worked and didn't, because it became a obsession to get cards graded, and the obsession is definitely misguided. Most real collectors, when I say real collectors, I mean people who have collections. Well, okay. A real collector is a person that enjoys their, like, whatever. So when I say real, I mean a substantial collector that is a substantial wealth. Like when I say real collectors of Magic, I'm thinking of the guys that I dealt with at the game store that had like 6-figure cards, that had 7-figure collections, like collections of Magic into the millions, right? We used to do insurance for those guys, where we would grade their collection for them for insurance purposes. We would, you know. So I've seen some collections into the millions of dollars. Those guys don't care about the grade of a card if the card's value is below $1,000. So when the card grading craze hit, everyone went out to get their cards graded. And if you didn't have a PSA 9, whatever, the PSA 8 was garbage, the PSA 10 is the only thing that... A lot of things go into this. I could talk about this topic for an hour and we wouldn't be past the surface understanding of it. But even though getting cards graded and slabbed fucking sucks for a lot of reasons, and it's a ripoff, and people, like, it's this weird made up game that people have, I've always liked graded cards. The reason I've always liked graded cards, and I have been buying graded cards for 15 years, like long before it was fucking cool. The reason I like it is because you can display the card. It's in a protective slab. So here are 3 examples of cards graded. Here is a Star Wars card of Salacious Crumb in a slab, protected, UV, everything. Here is a Pokemon card, a Charizard from the Japanese promo days, 98 or something like that, 97, 98. And here is a Magic card of a card art that I think is really phenomenal in foil, that I love. Now the thing is, an 8.5 is a terrible grade. And so an 8.5 will not sell for much more than the card itself raw. But I don't care about that. I care about having it displayed. So I have it in my display case over there. I put it on a little fucking stand thingy, right? And so this is also the way that I have my cards for the Realms of Eldara. Where's the shit? The promos. So when somebody gets a promo for the Realms of Eldara, so the promos are sort of in 2 classes for Eldara. The first class of Eldara promo is like kind of something that I make in, not mass produced, but like in a edition. So I'll make promos that are like 1 of 20 or 1 of 50, and those I'll send out for various different reasons or whatever, for people, for things, Patreon, whatever, and they'll get them. For special promos, I do them in these sort of magnetic cases. Okay? And these magnetic cases are sold to idiots who want to think that they are making a graded card slab, because people are more obsessed with the slab than they are with actually being a graded card. So they have these stupid, expensive, overpriced cases where you can make your own little sticker man, you know, and you make your own little thing and whatever. But I like it because I can put an Eldara promo in here. I can put the like label of what the Eldara promo is. I don't have any to show you right now because the only ones that I've made are Ella's, and I don't know where she has them. I think she has them in her desk downstairs or whatever. Maybe she can post a picture in Discord. But they're great ways to display cards. So if you have a card that you like, if you really love the art of a card, and you really want that card, you want to collect it, you want to buy it, whatever, you can buy the graded version of it. Don't buy the 10. Maybe don't even buy the 9. If there's an 8, that's like, if the card's a $50 card, and there's an 8, and the 8 is like $70, it usually costs $20 to get these cards graded, which is just like to get them encased and stuff. You buy the card for an extra $20, you get it encased in this thing, you can put it on display, you can throw it in a bag, you can do whatever you want when you're moving. You don't have to worry about the card getting jostled and destroyed and ripped around and whatever. And then you can put little, like, display them on your desk. Like when Ella has her desk set up again, you'll be able to see, and if you go back into my stream VODs, you'll see she has a couple of Pokemon Center Pikachus lined up there. So that's one way you can display your cards if you don't want to look in the binder. The other way is something like having them in the wall-mounted weather thing. So no, if you want to, like, if you like the sort of the whole collecting thing and you want to get into it, but you don't want to just have your cards sitting in binders, like whatever, you can absolutely do really cool shit. And nah, man, Like, you can save a lot of money by avoiding the sort of the hype. You can avoid all of that nonsense and then collect the cards that you want and then actually be able to enjoy the hobby, because other people have decided that the cards that you want are devalued for some like arbitrary reason. And it actually allows pure collectors in some ways to be able to enjoy the hobby more, with the hobby sucking more because of scalpers, which is like a funny side effect of it or whatever. Gotta count the cards you sent me. I think arranging the frame maps around the cards might look cool on the wall. That would be rad, actually. That would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie, that would be that'd be special. That'd be pretty rad. I love the idea of any of my art having ever hit your walls. So, and like, I don't know. I think trading cards are cool. I've always thought they were cool. That's why I want to do cool stuff with the Realms of Eldara cards, like for my own selfish desire to do fun stuff. Because I miss it. I miss trading cards. I miss a time where trading cards was like a fun hobby, an activity. Like Salesian was saying earlier, that you know, getting that like something cool in every pack. I miss that, and I want to get back to that. And so I want to always do Realms of Eldara cards, but I always want them to be something that like respects the value of the like respects the money of the person that's buying them, you know, and never asks the question if, but what. Asking the question, what do you get? What cool thing are you getting? I think is a great question to ask. You know, a lot of people will say that like, oh, trading cards have always been gambling, and like I kind of agree with that. I'm sympathetic to that argument. But I think it's in spirit wrong, because I certainly didn't fucking feel like we were gambling when we were all kids buying Pokemon cards, right? It felt like we were just like, you know, surprised by what cool thing we were getting. And I want that to come back. And I'm really sad that like for my kid, like I love seeing parents now still collecting cards together with their kid. But the idea of buying booster packs for my little guy, and I could spend $50 on 5 packs and he not even get anything cool, like maybe not even get an EX? What the fuck? Right? Michael's there, just not super prevalent, and some places constantly go out of business. Oh, okay. Well, Michael's in Canada is like really, like we have like probably 6 in the city, like in Calgary, close to me, so might be doing better in Canada, I don't know. Or whatever. Keep making stuff wall worthy. I'm honored, dude. I have some dragon prints that I'm like pieces that I'm working on for convention season this year. And I was actually gonna make something pretty special for you. I was gonna give you like a pretty cool like 101 version of a print whenever I'm done it, because I always appreciate how much of a supporter you've been for like that specific passion of mine, drawing, like making prints of dragons and stuff. So yeah, I want to make stuff that you like. Steph, you are one of those people where your taste is very important to me, and if I ever stopped making art that you thought was cool, that would be like I gotta reevaluate moment. You know. I love that about like I think just when you do stuff that like just a little artist thing from our talk yesterday, when you do stuff that you genuinely like, I think you relate to the people that also like your stuff a lot more. Like I very rarely sell a print to a person at a convention that I don't like. People will come to the table all the time that I'm like, ugh, you know, that I don't want to deal with, that are like, do you have like any cool like anime like titty art? And you're like, no, I don't, I'm sorry. Oh, because it's one time in Genshin. And you're like, oh God, please. But when you do stuff that like that you're really fond of, I think you find people that you genuinely like to be around and value their like opinionated tastes. So you know, Ella has like a couple people like that. Some very loyal customers for her dice that whenever she has a convention, they will always buy a set from her, and they always love the sets that she makes. And she's like, if I ever stop making sets that they like, then I know I'm like going in the wrong direction as a dice maker, right? So I'm late and all, but I heard some Pokemon card chatter. The price of packs these days, if you can find them. Yeah, we were complaining about that, Cobalt. $10 a pack, bro. $10 a pack, and also a 1 in 5 chance of getting a worthless EX card. In 1999, Cobalt, it was a 1 in 3 chance to get a holo in base set Pokemon. Now, to get the first level of like kind of cool card and illustration rare is 1 in 12, and the packs are $10 each. You could buy a box and get like back in 1999 and get like 10 cool cards in it. You buy a box now and you get 2 maybe cool cards in it. If you want the coolest card, it's 1 in 100 packs. So you buy 4 boxes and you get maybe a cool card. What the fuck, dude? Months ago, I found a store that had packs and they were $14. Oh, God. Yeah. The last time I bought a pack, I was saying earlier, Cobalt, was I bought Pokemon cards from Costco because we were there just buying groceries, and I was like, oh, cool, they have this set here. And it was right before the scout, like the scalpers didn't know about it. Apparently, like Ella called her or told her friend, like Selena, she's like, oh, you know, they have these here if you want to get one. And they drove to the Costco to get it, and apparently they were already sold out. So Ella and I like got super lucky somehow. Maybe we just like didn't, whatever. But it was a $70 Canadian like bundle of packs with like a cool promo in it or whatever. And I was just curious because I was like, fucking scalpers. I went on eBay just to check the value of it when we were in the car driving home from Costco. And it was like $150 or $170 or whatever US. So I was like, oh my God, I can't stand fucking nerds anymore. They're just the worst. I didn't buy cards I saw at Costco last time, which was early last year. I should have. Dude, I have some old packs of cards that I don't want to open because I like sealed product. I like sealed packs of cards, but now I look at the value of them and I'm like, oh fuck, if I want to open cards, like those are the only cards I have. But I don't think I ever will because, you know, like, I mean, come on, you've seen my closet. you've seen the card store. But yeah, man. It's so ridiculous. All right. Mr. Taconis is a little bit further along, but is 1 p.m. The time is 1 p.m. And I told Ella that I would get off stream a little bit early today because of one very important one very important reason. The reason that I'm getting off stream an hour early today is because today, early access for a brand new World of Warcraft expansion, Midnight, is out. And if you didn't know, Ella and I, in our youth, have spent many a day playing World of Warcraft. When we first started dating, she was not allowed to drive to her boyfriend's house on school nights. A lot of the times, well, so dad would have to drive her, she didn't have a license, and we were far away. So we would have Warcraft dates. So we would sit there playing World of Warcraft. She would come over. She would knock on my window early in the morning at like 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and I'd open it up. I'd open up the front door, and she'd come in, and we would like I'd make my bed, and she'd get on my bed, and she'd open up her laptop, and then I would sit at my computer, and we'd play World of Warcraft all fucking day. We have historically played World of Warcraft for our entire relationship, our entire marriage, more than half our life, and god damn it, even if we aren't super hardcore now, like the fact that I am live and not just playing World of Warcraft, me from 10 years wouldn't have believed it. But, you know, I'm trying to pace myself, be cool, be chill. I don't want to like just beat the whole fucking thing now. I'm not a competitive boy. But I'm still extremely excited to play World of Warcraft with my wife, so I'm gonna go do some cleaning, get some work done, because our downstairs is still a fucking mess, even though you'll notice there's not just piles of furniture and stuff here anymore. I still gotta get those Androids out of their packages. But I gotta do some cleaning for the house, and then play some World of Warcraft with my wife and get some food tonight and have a great fucking Friday. So I hope you guys have a great Friday. You played Midnight the whole stream, really? The wonderful second modder content, dude. I am fucking honored, Chris. That's dude, okay. I was literally talking with you about, or talking to Ella about you, be like, oh, Chris is like doing well, like 2 months ago. So I don't know. I'm honored. But anyway, I'll see you guys. I was gonna say tomorrow. Fuck tomorrow. I'll see you Monday, unless I have a baby appointment. I think we have a baby appointment Wednesday. I don't fucking know. I'll see you next week. Whatever. Okay. See you guys later. Bye.